Hello and welcome to episode number 25 of the Selection Saturday College Football Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I am your co-host, Oscar.
We've got an exciting one in store for you today.
To say the least.
Yeah, we are going over the ACC, as the title says. And I've got some thoughts. Oscar's got some thoughts. We're gonna go over this conference. Last week we did the Big 12. Okay, if you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it because, well, I mean, we gave a lot of good analysis, I'd say. And
I think we actually did really good analyzing the analysis from the ACC or the Big 12.
Yeah, I think we were pretty on point with our predictions. I think we agreed on a lot. The top of the board on the odds board is about where we had a lot of guys. Of course, there were some sleepers that a couple of us had, but. Overall, coach's poll, Houston made it into the top 25. That was my champ. I'm sure. Who was your champ? Was it Utah or was it BYU?
It was not Utah. I think it was BYU.
Okay, yeah, and of course, I'm sure BYU's in that coach's poll.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are a lot higher on BYU than they are Houston. Anyways,
Coaches.
Because the coach's poll came out. Should we go over that?
Yeah, I would love to actually start with the coaches poll.
Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do that. I actually was gonna bring that up and then I kind of forgot it happened.
You did make it. Oh wow.
Here is the coaches poll. I'll probably pull it up here.
Oh wow.
We'll get to the good stuff first. Of course, Cal got one vote. Hawaii got a vote. Jacksonville State,
crap.
Kansas State, San Diego. How did San Diego State get votes, y'all?
Hey,
Come
JMU
on.
got a vote. Sunbelt.
Yeah, JMU got 6 votes. Let's see. Navy got a couple. Western Mich, New Mexico, love to see it. Pitt, Duke, JMU, Arizona State, Memphis. There are a lot of schools getting some
There's
votes.
There's just a lot of teams getting votes.
Nebraska's getting votes. Seems like some people are still a little bit delusional. Florida State's getting votes. Let's see. UNLV's getting votes.
Huh.
Okie State's getting votes for the first time in a long time. How about that?
That's insane.
That's just what happens when the Eric Morris train comes into town. Vandy's still getting a lot of votes. That's really strange. I'm not entirely sure what that's about.
That is definitely interesting to say the least.
UVA also still getting some votes. I feel like for the coaches poll, I feel like they kind of like phone it in for teams that aren't on their schedule.
Yeah.
Because I have no reason to rank these stupid schools at the beginning of the year that we're not even going to play. Like, tell me that Scotty Walden at UTEP is putting in votes, like, to put in the work to put Utah over Iowa. Like,
yeah, no, it just does not matter.
So that's why, like, the coaches poll is all great and all. The AP poll, a little bit better. Of course, the College Football Playoff, the CFP committee poll, that's the one you look at. But this is a fun brain teaser, brain food for thought as we head into the season. Number 25 is Mizzou.
Houston 24, like you had mentioned.
I mean, I'll give, like, quick thoughts because I have done my research for all the teams at this point in the season, so I will kind of give you previews of what I think about some of these. I'll just say too high, too low for some, just so I don't spoil the future previews. But, yeah, Mizzou I think is way too high. I don't think it's going to be a very good season at all for Mizzou, but Houston, I'm not surprised they're 24. They are, like, pretty new to Power 4 football. So, I won't dog on the coaches too much for that. Clemson, I feel like that's just name brand. Like, have we been watching Clemson football? It doesn't matter what's going on there. It's just as long as Dabo Swinney continues to not utilize the portal up to standards, it's just not going to go. So, there's Clemson. Iowa, we haven't talked about yet, but, I mean, this is kind of just where you put Iowa every year because it's Kirk Ferentz. It's a Kirk Ferentz running offense. It's a Kirk Ferentz defense. Of course they're going to be ranked. Utah at 21. That's fair. I could see him being a little bit higher in some people's rankings. I think that this is a good position for Utah. Number at 21, maybe a little bit lower, but I'm lower on Utah than most. SMU, great spot for them, I'd say. They could actually be a little bit higher for me. Washington Huskies, I think a lot of people are high on, like, Washington's a very sleeper. I'm not completely sold yet. DeMond Williams, great quarterback, but they lose Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston to the draft. It's to be determined whether they can replace those weapons. Tennessee, at 18, they're starting either Faison Brandon or George McIntyre, both of which are very young quarterbacks, and that never goes well in the SEC, which is why I'm so shocked that Bandy got so many votes. So I'm not too high on Tennessee. Penn State,
I'm surprised they're that high for.
Yeah, no, they're the Iowa State Cyclones going into the Big Ten. Sure, they don't play Ohio State this year, but yikes. Michigan at 16, I think that's best case. They'll be high, like really high. Worst case, they'll be so low because who knows how big of a step Bryce Underwood took over the offseason. Because he's a hell of a talent. He just was making some bad mistakes last year. So, in the middle right there, I think that's fine. BYU 15, great spot.
I like it.
USC 14, I feel like we're overrating USC once again just because of the quarterback, which I feel like is going to be a very common theme we see in the media. That's just a common theme in the media. They just look at the quarterback, and I'm like, you're going to see probably over the next 3 weeks, that's not how I roll. I look at the full team. You can have, like, freaking Taylor Green last year on Arkansas. Arkansas was 2-10. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, and no one talked about him because it was Arkansas. The rest of the defense stunk. So, you can have good quarterbacks on bad teams. You can have bad quarterbacks on good teams. I'm going to go over some bad quarterbacks. I mean, I think Maddox Madsen on Boise State is just a fine quarterback. Jaden Denegal last year for San Diego State. He's a bad quarterback. But
on a good team.
He's running, but the running backs and the defense is what made Iowa quarterbacks every year bad quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So, that's my soapbox. LSU 13, Sam Levitt's at quarterback. Everyone loves him. I like him. I don't think the rest of the team is up to 13. Texas Tech at 12, good spot, probably a little bit higher. Bama at 11, you cannot do this. Like, absolutely cannot do this. I have no idea what they're thinking. This is name brand to the maximum. They don't even have a quarterback yet. Like, are you going to put them at 11?
It's just because they're Alabama.
Yeah, it's name brand. And, like, they see Alabama, they put them high, and then they just move on with their day. Y'all got to understand that Nick Saban is not coaching the team, and Kalen DeBoer is not Nick Saban. Ole Miss at 10. That's a very fair ranking. Because you got to take into account that Pete Golding is coaching this team. Didn't even want to be a coach until Lane Kiffin just straight up left before the playoffs. So strange. Okay. Mm-hmm. 9, Oklahoma Sooners. So fair. I mean, their defense last year, incredible. Offense left much to be desired. If they can have both at the same time, really good team.
Insane.
Texas A&M Aggies at 8. Great spot. Marcel Reed, as long as he doesn't, he had 1.5 bad games last year. And one of them was in probably the worst possible
time.
Actually, it might have been 2.5. I don't think he had a great game against Texas. I think he fizzled out at the end of the year. I think if he can have a complete season, Texas A&M's got a great shot at winning the Natty. But 7, Miami Hurricanes. That's where a lot of people have them.
I mean, we'll go over them today.
Indiana at 6. I mean, you can't go against Cignetti. I think that Hoover is the second best quarterback he's had in his 3 years of Curtis Rourke, Fernando Mendoza, and Josh Hoover. So, and he's got Nick Marsh at wide receiver. He's going to be fantastic. Turbo Richard, he took from Boston College, who we'll just be talking about in a couple minutes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, why not Indiana Hoosiers?
I feel like a lot of it also has to do with the fact that they just won the Natty.
Yeah.
You typically put, unless they lost literally everyone, you will usually see teams that win championships ranked higher in any poll in any sport is that's how it works.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not blaming anyone for putting Indiana at 6. I don't think they're 6, but that's okay.
No.
Notre Dame at 5. They won't be here at the end of the year. They're gonna lose one. They're gonna be up here for the most of the year. Lose to BYU. They're gonna be like 10s, 15s range, and then they're gonna have a bad loss at the end of the year that I'll talk about later today.
The problem is their schedule is just so like.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I really like one of the teams on that schedule.
I'm saying their schedule's way too easy for them to expect to be ranked high. They don't have much worthy opponents other than BYU.
Yeah, BYU and then an ACC team that I will get to later. And no, it's not Stanford.
Are we sure it isn't Stanford?
I'm positive. That one might be a baptism. Number 4, the Texas Longhorns. I'm a believer in Arch. Terrible start to his career, but he was so overhyped. Like, legitimately, you could not get enough Arch Manning content on ESPN just because he's Peyton and Eli's relative. Like,
yeah, you could not put more pressure on a kid that just started college football.
Yeah,
than Arch Manning.
He's like a junior this year. I honestly did not catch that. He's like decently old.
Yeah, I think he's turning 21.
Yeah. But it will be a much improved season for Arch. Definitely a Heisman contender this year. Because at the end of the season, it was undeniable. He was getting better. So was CJ Carr. And they both missed the playoffs over Miami, who ended up being, I guess, the better choice. Although I think Notre Dame would have won the Natty if they had been included. But they didn't, and they threw a hissy fit, so I'm retracting all statements. Number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs. Completely fair to keep them up this high.
Fair.
I mean, Georgia just has that pipeline of just guys in the system. Probably the best pipeline in college sports right now. Or not college sports right now. That's Penn State wrestling. But the pipeline is the best in college football, I'd say. You just Kirby Smart. Everyone wants to play for Kirby Smart. In Georgia, everyone in the South wants to play for him. It's just keep from 5-star after 5-star after 5-star. They've had so many top 5 classes in the past year. It's like you can't bet against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's a team that you can't bet against until you see them fall.
So far they have fallen, but in the college football playoff.
Yeah, but they have been one of the better teams in this decade in college football.
Yeah,
so
far
it's very hard to bet against them.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, the Oregon Ducks. This seems a little bit bullish. This seems a little bit
good.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon has not won a Natty, of course. Not even in the Marcus Mariota days. I don't know, man. I think that's a
bit too high for them.
It's just way too high. I think there's 2 reasons that I don't like Oregon this year. That like a whole lot. Dante Moore was not as good as everyone said he was against above average defenses. He completely folded and had to rely on other pieces. And then, as great as the defensive line is this year, everyone came back. It's going to be the best defensive line in college football. It will not be even close. Everything else has question marks, I think, because it's just draft and depth concerns. Because it is Oregon at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're that program. I don't think they're that program to be in the top 10 even. Right.
I mean, I think they're a top
maybe
10
top 10.
program.
Not top 5. Not top 5. And then number 1.
10 program now.
Number 1, Ohio State. Completely fair.
It's not surprising, honestly.
I mean, yeah. It's just Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Brendan Ennis, and then just Ohio State dudes. Another great pipeline. Probably the pipeline of the Rust Belt. You want to go to Ohio State. You want to play under. I mean, I guess you want to play under Ryan Day. I don't know if.
But if they lose in the game again, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for the game, dude. I think it's gonna be much better than that. I was excited for it last year because Sayin and Underwood are 2 of my favorite quarterbacks in college. Now they're both coming back, and they're both got a year under their belts. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a great game. You know who's not gonna have many great games this year?
Wait, let me guess. Stanford.
Them. We'll get to them, but I'm talking about Boston College.
Boston College.
Doug Flutie's alma mater. Get Bill O'Brien out of here, man. 2-10 last year. Hella people leave. Hella people come in. That starting quarterback's going to be Saginaw Valley State transfer Mason McKenzie. Trying to replicate the success of Trinidad Chambliss here. I can only imagine that's why they brought in a D2 guy.
Well, no comment.
Evan Dickens, great running back get from Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be definitely on Doak watch list. Although I think those came out today.
They did come out today. 2 ODU players are on the watch list.
Mm-hmm, I did, yeah. The Thorpe and then the Doak. Wide receiver room looks pretty bleak. Lewis Bond is gone. I do see an interesting piece, though, here. 6'6" Colgate transfer. Reed Swanson nearly grabbed 1,000 yards worth of passes last year.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, expected breakout tight end Kalen Chudzinski will miss 2026 due to injury.
Oh!
Oh no, it's really sad to hear that the Chud is gonna be missing 2026. Hopefully he gets that medical red shirt and we get to see a little bit of Chud action next year.
Yeah, let's get some Chud maxing next year.
Yeah. Everything's pointing to the O-line being pretty solid. I mean, the new O-line coach developed Peter Skoronski and Rashawn Slater, two pretty decent O-line talents in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I think Dickens is gonna do pretty well, but I can't say the passing attack's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I have my comments on a D2 guy going up to any Power 4 conference. Good luck.
Yeah.
Because obviously the competition is nowhere near the same.
Yeah, and apparently Trinidad Chambliss just came in and is just like, shoot, I was at Ferris State, so who cares?
Yeah. I really like the Evan Dickens pickup, though.
No, yeah. It's kind of like a Jalen Rayner Iowa State pickup to where, like, why, though?
Yeah. If I haven't been clear, though, it's easy to tell I really love running backs. So when I see a good pickup, I'm going to be very happy about it. They brought in a Maryland guy as well, Nolan Ray. He didn't do a lot at Maryland, but, you know, it's a solid backup.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk about Jaden Skeet?
I did not talk about Jaden Skeet.
Oh, well, yeah, Jaden Skeet looks like he's going to be a guy in the receiver room who does a bit of stuff this season. He missed a good chunk of last year, though, with a shoulder injury. But I saw reports saying that he was healthy during camp, so that's good. Dawson Poe is another returning player who came from the Tuscarora High School in Leesburg. So
let's go.
We got the Poe up in here. He was a guy at Boston College. He's solid. He seems like he's going to do a bit more. And then obviously Reed Swanson from Colgate, heck of a player. He actually got more than 1,000 yards last season at Colgate. So.
Oh really? Okay, I must have missed that. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure yours wasn't off by much.
Oh.
So. And then Zeke Moore looks to be the tight end after the Chud himself is out for the season.
Yeah. I think we got some great running backs in college football this year. I'm really excited for this class.
Oh, yeah.
Defense. Last year's poor defensive line is gone, but the incoming pieces honestly don't look half bad. Same with the linebacker room. Not great last year. Incoming guys don't look terrible. KT Price is back as the undisputed best part of this defense, maybe even the team. Led the team in tackles in back-to-back seasons. The rest of the secondary, honestly intriguing. I think it's a very improved defense for Boston College, but there are concerns over 62-year-old defensive coordinator Ted Roof. Might be losing his touch. I don't know. He's been in college he's been coordinating defenses for like 40 years, so who knows? A lot has changed. He's coordinated 13 different defenses over the years. And, by the way, offensive coordinator is also Bill O'Brien, as if it couldn't get worse.
That just makes everything a lot worse.
Like, in the Big 20, maybe in, like, the 2010s, like, I'd love having Bill O'Brien as my offensive coordinator. Not in the Big 26.
Not in 2026. As I say, Yeah, Ted Roof, he's been coaching since the 1980s.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I guess it's time for our first record prediction of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Big BC going an unfortunate 5-7. An improved year due to that defense, but not quite taking it home. I have them with wins over Cincinnati on the road to start the year. At home against Rutgers. That's going to be a really fun one. At home against Maine. Home against Virginia Tech. So they start off 4-0. Actually 5-1. Beating Pitt. And then going on a 6-game losing streak and missing a bowl game.
God, you really don't like.
So they're kind of just Pitt maxing this year.
Yeah, that's Pitt maxing to the max.
Yeah.
Well, I do also have an improved season from the Boston College Eagles, the Big BC, but they go 3-9.
Okay.
And they win one conference game, so they go 1-7 in the conference. They beat Cincinnati and Rutgers and Maine. Oh wait, what?
That's mine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at my. Oh, okay. Hold on, no, I saw Cincinnati. Hold on, no, they beat Rutgers, Maine, and Virginia Tech.
All right.
That is it. Then they just lose the rest of their games.
Yeah. It gets significantly more difficult as time goes on.
Yeah, it just does not get better for them at all. Here's a team that got better though.
Oh my gosh! See, so we started ACC research this week. Oscar was like, I told Oscar, I've got a pretty interesting winner. I do have a very, very interesting winner this year for the ACC. You're going to want to tune in. You want to stay tuned. And he's like, who is it? Cal? I'm like, well, close. I have Cal doing pretty well this year. The Justin Wilcox era is over after incredible mediocrity. And general manager Ron Rivera brings in head coach Tosh Lupoy, former Oregon defensive coordinator.
Oh.
He retains Jaron Kiawe, Sagapolutele, of course, absolute star in his freshman season. Isn't incredibly mobile, so he will need a good offensive line to succeed. The running back by committee after the departure of Kendrick Raphael is looking good. You get Adam Mohammed from Washington, Carter Vargas from UC Davis, and Ashton Emery from UTEP. All of them have an opportunity to do great work at their new destination. And here's my, I think, second favorite, maybe third favorite wide receiving core in all of college football here. Chase Hendricks from Ohio. Ian Strong from Rutgers. Cooper Perry played snaps as a true freshman in Oregon last year. Dorian Thomas at tight end at New Mexico. They also retained Mason Minnie, their tight end last year. Great tight end room. Great wide receiver room. Honestly, so peak.
You know, I mean, when I was talking about them before I'd done my research, I was not familiar with California's game because this is one of the better offenses in the ACC, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not going to pronounce his name. Just JKS at quarterback. Great season last year. Obviously, interception total a bit high, but you know what? It was his first season.
It was a true freshman year, yeah.
In theory, should get better from there. But Adam Mohammed from Washington, huge pickup, obviously, for them. And then Ashton Emery, who I assume at least is going to be the backup to Mohammed from UTEP, also had a similar season to him. And then looking back at it, this receiving room is really, it's honestly stacked to the brim with talent that has yet to flourish. But I feel like given the right situation, it will. Because obviously, Chase Hendricks, dog. Ian Strong, dog. Because he balled out at Rutgers, which you never hear about.
Ethan Kaliak-Manis as his quarterback. Somehow on an NFL roster. I was shocked, honestly.
And then they bring back Mark Hamper and Jordan King. And then obviously Dorian Thomas, the New Mexico transfer. He had a really good season last year for them. I'd be surprised to see his production dip, honestly, this year.
Yeah, they do return 4 guys with starting experience on the offensive line. It was kind of a problematic unit last year, though. They still bring in a lot of transfers, so it looks like they'll probably just mix in some starters and some transfers, and hopefully the starters get better. The transfers inject that talent, and it's a good line. That's the best case scenario. Best case scenario, this is like the best offense in all of college football.
Well, it's a pretty good best case scenario.
Yeah, but like they can achieve it, unlike Stanford, who
Nick,
I don't believe can.
Nick, I hate to be that guy, but I'm getting a call from work, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put you on hold.
Go ahead. I will regale everyone on the defense. So, the defensive line, it does need work, but they got a lot of good guys in the portal, notably Jericho Johnson from Oregon, Solomon Williams from Texas A&M. Linebackers are pretty decent. I love the group of DBs. This is a good team, y'all. Okay, the offense is great. It'll be elite when the O-line gels. I mean, it'll be so fun. I love Jaron Kiawe Sagapolotele, or JKS, as I'll probably refer to him over the rest of the season, unless I want to get real cocky and showy that I've been able to say his name for like a year plus while everyone's kind of still learning it because he played at Cal. People forget that Fernando Mendoza played at Cal. That's how irrelevant the Calgorithm has been over the past few years. But we're so back, dude, with Cal. I used to hate Cal, I'll be honest. Especially when Mendoza was there, because they were one of the only teams to lose to Florida State. And I'm like, how do you lose to Florida State? They got freaking Brock Glenn. I forgot who was starting that one. It was Brock Glenn, DJU, or Luke Cromanhook. Of course, all three. Actually, DJ's out of eligibility, of course, but the other GR is still in college football. So, gosh, that stupid Florida State team. Terrible. Yeah, no, Cal's definitely a sleeper to contend here in the ACC. I don't know how to keep stalling. Oscar's not back yet. Could always just... Okay, he's just going to tell me, he's told me to keep going without him. He'll catch up. So, I will go ahead and say my record for Cal, and then we'll start on Clemson. So, I have Cal going 10-2, 7-2 in the ACC. Only losses are to Syracuse on the road, and on the road against SMU, which is, I think, firmly places them at the third best team in this conference. Basically kind of spoiled my 1 and 2, but you didn't hear that. I guess it's time to move on to Clemson. Already gave kind of a preview on this one while we were going over the coaches poll, but last year Clemson, complete letdown. They were my pick to win. Did I have them winning the Natty? It was either them or LSU. I expected the Week 1 matchup to be the bookend to the Natty matchup. I think Clemson made a bowl game. I honestly forgot. It wasn't a very good season last year. Cade Klubnik, no longer here. It's now Christopher Vizina's job, I believe. I think they said they were still working that out at some point, but I'm pretty sure Vizina's going to start. Chad Morris is in at offensive coordinator this year. He was here from 2011 to 2014. He wasn't a very good head coach, but going down to OC probably suits him better. That's probably what Bill O'Brien should do. Anyways. Running back. Chad Morris likes to use the running backs a lot. He's got Gideon Davidson and Chris Johnson Jr., who is from SMU. They should be a good 1-2, in my opinion. I think we'll be hearing a lot of them this year. At least better than their worst season since 2010. Just to show you how not utilizing the portal is going for head coach Dabo Swinney. Wide receiver room, full of talent. Bryant Wesco, TJ Moore, Tyler Brown. Great top 3 options for Vizina.
Hello?
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
I'm currently regaling everyone about the offense of Clemson. So
I would love to... Were you almost done with...
I'm pretty much almost done. I'm just going to go over the tight ends.
Feel free.
Tight ends were barely utilized last season, but new offensive coordinator Chad Morris runs things a little bit differently. He seems to really like Olsen, Pat, Henry. Offensive line, unfortunately, looks like it might be a train wreck. Thank you for not utilizing the portal, Davo. This is a situation that you probably should have improved in the portal, but you didn't. All right, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're talking about Christopher Vizina at nausea.
Yes.
Because he did so much.
Well, I mean, he had a good game against SMU. That was, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do a whole lot last year, given the fact that Kate Klubnik, which definitely was an interesting beginning of the season to him, was basically the starter. But wherever he filled in, he didn't do too bad. He looked decent overall. The running back room looks to be led by Gideon Davidson. He had some quality reps last year. And then they brought in a transfer from SMU, Chris Johnson, Jr. He had 479 yards at SMU. I'm sure he'll look to build off of that this upcoming season. The receiver room, Brian Wesco. He's coming off a spinal contusion from last year.
Yeah.
But he was doing good beforehand. And TJ Moore had stepped up in the absence of Brian Wesco. And Moore had ended the season with 837 yards. So, I mean, it's a good 1-2 tandem. And then they have Tyler Brown, who's also there, but he's kind of like that guy that's just also there. And then obviously there's Olsen Pat Henry. He's not utilized a whole lot, but if he's still there, he's been there 3 years. Obviously he's there for a fourth, so he's doing something right.
Yeah, you want to give us your Cal record?
I would love to give you your Cal record, but I was on the other side of the room for like half a second. But yeah, let me get the Cal record up, because I actually still have their schedule and everything up. I have the California Golden Bears going 10-2, 7-2 in conference.
Bang! All right, that's our first agree.
Let's go. We didn't agree on the schedule, though.
I completely doubt it. We definitely did not.
Well, I mean, there's 2 games we probably disagreed on. That's probably it. But I have them losing to the team we're talking about right now, Clemson. And I have them losing to SMU.
All right. So we only disagreed on one game.
Was it the Clemson game?
It was the Clemson game.
Okay.
Which makes me feel like you don't have this team going 12-0, which is completely fair, because this team was not good last year that they have going 12-0, but that's okay.
You know what? We'll get to it.
We'll get to them. Defense. Peter Woods, Devontae Capehart both got drafted last year. Doesn't help that Courtney Kelly tore his ACL in March, and Heaven Brown Schuler is unfortunately fighting a battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
I promise I don't find it funny, but that is just the most unfortunate series of events that could happen.
It is just the worst thing that could ever happen to that defensive line. Linebacker room, plenty of hype around Sammy Brown. He's surrounded by seniors in Jeremiah Alexander and Kobe McLeod, so should be a good linebacker room. Last year, secondary, absolutely terrible. They brought in enough talent for me to think they can be at least all right. Elliott Washington from Penn State, Corey Myrick from Southern Miss, and Jerome Carter III from ODU.
I know that.
Headline a great group of transfers. So,
Yeah, overall, from the very in-depth, definitely research that it on every defense for the ACC. It's not one of the best ones, but it's not like bottom tier. It's not like a Stanford Cardinal team.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the Stanford Cardinal. This year I have Clemson missing a bowl game, also going 5-7, 3-5 in the ACC. It just keeps getting worse and worse for Dabo, and I literally, after picking them to make my national championship last year, I finally come back down to earth and realize that Dabo is a complete moron and cannot utilize the portal to save his life. So
yeah, that's what's been killing him at Clemson.
Yeah,
he was in the sun with Deshaun. He was there when Deshaun Watson was there, right?
Yes, he's been in there for forever.
Yeah, he was in the sun with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence
and DJU.
Too close. Oh yeah, and I guess him. But then he flew too close to the sun.
Yes.
And now it's finally back to bite him. I have the Clemson Tigers going 6-6, 4-4 in the ACC.
Okay.
I will go over their wins. Yeah, I'll go over their wins, I guess, because that's probably going to be more fun.
Oh, I never even said their wins. That's my bad.
Oh.
That's my bad.
No, you're good.
Do you want to do yours first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Their wins will be against Georgia Southern at home, UNC at home, Miami at home, Charleston Southern at home, and then Georgia Tech at home.
All right, well, funny enough, I have all 6 of their wins in unison.
Wow.
So they started the season 6-1. They'll beat Georgia Southern, UNC, California, which I had just mentioned 2 seconds ago.
Yes.
Miami, Charleston Southern, and Virginia Tech. And then they lose 5 games in a row.
Nice.
So it's a very it's a very up season until it's very down.
So, yeah, they're pit maxing again.
Yeah.
Another team that's pit maxing.
Another one.
All right, I think we're all caught up. That was a little strange, We were a little bit
strange little happening.
Yeah, but now we can finally talk about Duke, which everyone's been heavily anticipating because they are the reigning ACC champs.
Yeah.
Manny Diaz has his work cut out for him this year. Darian Mensah drama ended up with him and wide receiver 1 Cooper Barkate dipping for Coral Gables, so they had to scramble to grab a guy constantly carried by his wide receiver 1 at San Jose State in Walker Egat. Also missed all of spring practice, only started practicing with his teammates in fall camp, which just recently started up for most teams, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
However, 1,000-yard rusher Nate Shepard, he is back.
Yes.
However, Quishon Brown, wide receiver 2, also gone, and the wide receiver room is replaced by talent within and lower level transfers. So, lots to prove. And the offensive line, I think, should be pretty solid. Healthy mix of returners and quality transfers. It's like, if they had Mensah back, it would be another pretty good year.
Oh, yeah.
But they lose Barkate, and they lose Quishon Brown. So,
I have a feeling we had both very different opinions on this team by the way you talked about the offense versus the way I'm about to talk about this offense.
Oh, gosh.
Don't worry, they're not 12-0, I promise. They're pretty dang close. Walker Egat from San Jose State. Obviously, he had a good season last year. Obviously, he was helped out a lot by his receivers. But at the end of the day, you need a good quarterback to have receivers show out. That's just how it works sometimes. I remember telling you this. It was my favorite running back room when I was writing the notes. In my opinion, it still is my favorite running back room in college football. Yeah, this is going to change again probably next week anyway, so forget
We
this.
talk about the SEC next week?
Yes.
Absolutely it will.
So my opinion will be changing within the next 4 days. Nate Shepard, dog. He had over 1,000 rushing yards. He had 11 touchdowns last year for the Blue Devils. And then it looks like his backup is going to be C.J. Campbell Jr. from Rutgers, whose season ended last year. I'm pretty sure it was the 3rd or 4th game against Norfolk State due to an ankle injury. But before then, he was having a really good season for Rutgers, which says a lot because it's Rutgers. Obviously, the receiver room lost a lot of key guys, which is not what you want to see. However, their transfer from UPenn, Jared Richardson, had over 1,000 yards last year, and he had 12 touchdowns. Then they bring in Charlotte transfer Javen Nicholas. Nick?
Me?
Yeah, you. Who he had 759 yards for 5 touchdowns with the 49ers. No, not the San Francisco ones.
Thank goodness.
And Jeremiah Hasley looks to be their tight end. He had a decent season last year, looking to basically do the same thing this year.
All right, I've got 2 stories, or I guess two stuff to add, 2 things to add. First of all, we interrupt this segment to bring you the William & Mary sports update. It is currently tied 1-1 in the season opener for women's soccer against Loyola, Maryland. And there's 5 minutes left, so all signs point to a opening season draw against a pretty bad Loyola team. So, copium. Sorry. Anyways, and then my second story is that, speaking of the 49ers, I saw a dude with a 49ers hoodie, and he was in a walking boot, so that electrical substation is really just,
Oh, that substation's doing
that substation's doing its work. Anyways, that was like a week ago when I started practice, so om nom nom, as the electrical substation says.
Yeah, that's what I hear it say sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Duke defense. Is it a Dookie defense? Let's find out. The pass rush does lose 2 focal points in Wesley Williams and Vincent Anthony Jr., but retools nicely. I think he's got good depth. Bryce Davis and Barriate, or is that Barlate? That's Barriate Kara, our former 4-stars. Linebacker room is far and away the most promising part of this team. Luke Murgott became a postseason sensation at the end of the last year with 2 game-stealing picks in the ACC Championship and the Sun Bowl, respectively. I think I picked against Duke both games, and I got pissed at him twice. I really didn't like this guy last year because he screwed me. Anyways.
Well, he did good for his team.
Yes, for sure. Nick Morris, is a 6th-year senior who is dangerous when healthy, and Kendall Johnson is slated for that 3rd linebacker spot with some promise of a breakout year. Corners, not looking amazing. They do return their interception co-leader at safety in Deshaun Stone. We'll see what the large quantity of transfers do there.
That's like a fun ragtag group of Duke Blue Devils.
It is a fun ragtag group of Blue Devils. And I think it's a pretty good group. I think it's a really good group, actually. I mean, like, as long as Walker Eget just gets, like, carried by his receivers and just hands the ball off, like, a lot, this is a good team. This is a good ACC team. How about Duke going 11-1, 8-1 in the ACC? With their only loss being a spoiler that takes them out of the championship game from Wake Forest.
What?
Because Wake Forest has been the spoiler makers ever since Purdue ended up being just trash. They are the new spoiler makers. Wake Forest. So, listen, man.
This scares me because you have an 11-1 team not being in the conference championship.
Correct.
So either you just have a team that went undefeated in the ACC and lost all of their other games, or you just have 2 12-0 teams. And I really hope it's not the latter.
Oh, I don't have 2 12-0 teams. I can tell you that. I only have 1.
Goodness.
I have 1 per conference, I think. 1 per Power 4 conference. It's just the team that I have at the top.
I have the Blue Devils going a crisp 10-2.
All right.
But I also would like to... no, I'm going to stick with it. I have them going 10-2. I was going to make an edit saying that they were going to be Tulane, but you know what? I stick with my gut here.
Wow, Tulane.
Yeah, they have an early loss to Tulane, and they don't lose until they play Miami in week 11, so...
Oh, and the Darian Mensah revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cooper Barkate revenge game. Don't forget about him. All right. I was just talking about Florida State while I was muted and you were away. So, let's talk about Florida State.
I would love to.
Norvell is on some kind of hot seat entering his 7th year with the program. He lost over 60 players to the portal in graduation, brings in over 50 newcomers to replace him. One of the few returners is wide receiver Deuce Robinson. He'll lead the wide receiver core, one of the best in the conference. He'll be paired with equally explosive Mikahi Danzy and true freshman Devin Carter. They return their running backs 2 and 3, and they also recruit Contravian Wisner from Texas and build depth around him. I mean, it's a pretty good group of weapons for the quarterback. So who is it? Hi, Ashton Daniels.
Hi, Ashton Daniels. We've missed you.
Lackluster backup to Jackson Arnold last year at Auburn. Through the fourth most picks in FBS the year before at Stanford. Okay. Well,
He's here.
Welcome to the show, Ashton Daniels.
Wait, like the baseball game?
Yeah, kind of. His offensive line lost all 5 starters. Getting rebuilt pretty well, just needs a little bit of time to gel.
Yeah, hi, Ashton Daniels. Good luck. You're not bad, but you're not good. You're mediocre, so good luck. I like this running back room. It's not my favorite, because that's going to stay with Duke.
Yep.
For now, until I start talking about, like, the Stanford Cardinal team. I like the Quintravion Windsor pickup from Texas. He had a huge game against Texas A&M actually last year.
He
He had
did.
162 yards against the Aggies.
Dude, he's been so good these past few years. Oh my gosh,
Aggies-
Contravion!
That Aggies defense wasn't bad by any means.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, heck of a season. And then they bring back Osama Kroma, in case you were wondering. This receiver room's not too bad. It looks like it's going to be led by Deuce Robinson, who had 1,093 yards on 57 catches and 6 touchdowns last year. His number 2 seems to be Micah Danzy. Oh, I think this wasn't my favorite receiver room. But Micah Danzy, who showed some production last year in some role at FSU. And then Javen Boggs, who is basically Micah Danzy, but a bit less. And then, in case you're wondering, their tight end is Desario Riles, who didn't have too bad of a season last year. So he will be looking to either replicate or improve off of that season.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at some old Florida State tape, okay? I'll be honest. I was watching a little bit.
Ugh.
And I'm looking at this defensive back, or I'm looking at, I think, the Alabama game. Okay? And Ty Simpson's down to his last down. They need to pull through and win. I forget if it's a QB scramble or if it's a handoff or a reception, but he's at that line. And Jabril Rawls, just an absolute wall at defensive back, and prevents him from getting past the chains, getting a first down. Basically seals the game. I'm like, this dude's a stud. Jabril Rawls is definitely someone to look out for this season. He does return. And they made some fortifications in that secondary. It's going to be a pretty good group. Still largely untested, but I have hope.
Well, if you have a lull at a secondary position, you're looking pretty good anyway. So
they bring in Rylan Kennedy from Texas A&M. Ray was a backup. Not a whole lot of other notables on the line. This is a very... I think Florida State gets carried by the schedule, I'm going to be honest. Because, like, I look at this team and I look at what I ended up picking, and I'm like, this doesn't really resonate what I feel like. Let's see how many wins they have against teams above 500. None.
Whoa.
And guess how many wins they have? 10.
Well, oh my goodness. Oh, wait.
They have 10 wins, none of them against teams above 500. They only lose to SMU, and they lose to Louisville.
So I have also made my picks, in case you were wondering.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I do have them going 10-2. But believe it or not, they actually beat teams over 500.
Oh, okay.
Let me see how much. You got one.
You got one.
Does 500 count as above 500?
No, doesn't count as above 500. In that case, they beat one team that is 500.
You got one. Well, no, there is one. Yeah, there's one win above with the team above 500.
This is the fluffiest schedule since freaking jet puffed marshmallows. Like,
you got 3 teams who are 500 who they beat, but it's not the best teams at all that are 500. In case you're wondering, they lose to Louisville and Pittsburgh.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, William and Mary update.
Ooh.
I think they drew.
Dang.
So sorry, guys. ESPN app is just so lovely. I love it so much. It is so fun to work with.
You know what else
Speaking
was fun?
of Georgia Tech. Brent Key's staff is pretty much gone, either fired or poached. Most of the team also gone.
Also gone.
Haynes King, Jamal Haynes, I don't think is back. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know.
Did he get drafted? Did he get signed?
I saw his name on something somewhere.
Okay. Well,
He's at Cincinnati, or he's a Bengal.
Oh, okay. That's good. He's so good. Speaking of running backs, sorry, I should probably talk about the quarterback. Fernando Mendoza. You remember Fernando Mendoza? Do you remember Fernando Mendoza? We got Mendoza. We got Alberto.
Oh, wait, that's not Fernando.
Oh, that's not Fernando at all.
Something was not in the air that night.
No, nothing was in the air that night, Alberto. Running back room is calling themselves the Bad Boys.
Well, that's really not going to be good.
They're comprised of home run threats, Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley. I think both of them are actually really good. So,
you better hope they have good games all through the season.
No, yeah, because they were getting clowned.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a clown show on Twitter if they do not play up to their name. It was a draw, by the way. I finally got my ESPN Plus to work. Jordan Allen is the only returning receiver on this roster with a catch last season.
Wow.
The rest of it is honestly just not exciting. I'm going to be honest. The O-line returns some guys, but they're shuffling around, and it's all messy, and guys are switching positions. I don't like this offense really much, other than the running backs.
I can tell.
Do you want to talk about Georgia Tech?
I would love to. Obviously, we do not have anything in the air tonight. Nothing will ever be in the air tonight. Alberto. At quarterback, obviously he came from Indiana. They won the Natty, blah, blah, blah. He's Fernando Mendoza's brother. That's what matters.
Yep.
Nepotism. Anyway, the running back room, the Bad Boys. Obviously, you got Malachi Hosley. He had a pretty good season last year, given the fact that he was backing up one of the better running backs, in my opinion, in college football.
Oh, yeah.
And then Justice Haynes, who also had a really good season last year at Michigan. I think he's going to be the number one back, in my opinion. But he had a really good season at Michigan. Almost had a 900 yards at a Big Ten school. Dropping, I say down lightly, but he's going to the ACC. So that'll be a fun season for him. The receiver room, obviously you mentioned Jordan Allen, who only had one catch. That would be due to the fact that he was dealing with injury most of the season.
Bang.
Yeah. So, that's definitely fun. But they do bring in an Elon transfer by the name of Isaiah Foreman, who had almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's really all I wrote about the wide receiver room. Oh, and they brought in a Dartmouth transfer, Chris Corbo at tight end, who had actually... he had a good season, given the fact that he's a tight end. He had 516 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's a good tight end season.
Along with all the blocking I'm sure he had to do for Dartmouth.
Plenty of blocking for Dartmouth.
Yeah.
I like some pieces on the defensive line. Not loving the depth. I think it's kind of top-heavy. Although, linebacker is going to be a great room for Georgia Tech. E.J. Lightsey comes back. Kyle Efford, leading tacklers a year ago. They both return. Jason Seymour comes in at defensive coordinator as a linebacker guy. Mm-hmm. They have young, promising depth ready to be molded by him, you know?
I guess.
They do lose Amari Harvey to the Steelers, but the room behind them still looks really good. They got a former 5-star in Jalen Bakwe, and Tay Harris is another guy to look out for this year. Yeah, that's my Georgia Tech thoughts.
Let's get to the Georgia Tech picks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty average season. 6-6, 3-5 in the ACC.
It's fair.
We'll go wins. They beat Colorado. I say they pull off a stunner and just completely drop Tennessee out of the rankings in
that
week 2.
That would be hilarious.
That's how little I think of Tennessee, by the way. They beat Mercer, obviously, and then they beat Stanford. So they start off 4-0.
Yo, they beat Stanford.
Then they're 6-2 by week 9. They beat Boston College and Pitt on the road. How about it? And then they lose their last 4 games.
How about it? So they Pitt maxed after beating Pitt.
Yes. They received the Pitt disease. Yeah, that's nasty. Y'all, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what we're calling it now. If any team loses to Pitt, and they go on to lose at least 2 in a row.
Yeah, and they're like, ew, you stinky. You got Pitt disease. That's what they get for not skipping the backyard brawl this year.
You're not going to like this, are you, Nick?
What?
9-3, 6-2 in the ACC.
Okay, I mean...
I I think I'm just showing their upside as a team, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like yours is the realistic, mine is what could happen.
Yeah, I can't really make any, that's super unrealistic when I have, a last year 3-9 team going 12-0 this year. So, do what you want to do.
Well, I have them losing to Duke, as we had just talked about, Louisville, and Georgia.
Yeah, no way they beat the freaking clean old good fashioned hate or whatever they call it. Louisville! Speaking of a team who has a rivalry week matchup against Kentucky, year 4 for Mr. 9-win, Jeff Brom. Miller Moss was certainly the college quarterback of all time. Glad he's gone, but in his place is an Ohio State transfer in Lincoln Kienholz. Luckily, like Georgia Tech, these guys also have one of the best 1-2 punches in the conference in the Brown Boys, Isaac and Kiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver room, almost all gone. But
great.
I'm liking the guys they bring in. Trey Richardson, elite speed, started to cook near the end of the 2025 season with Vandy. Brody Foley was a stud at Tulsa at tight end. A couple more guys emerge. It's a good offense. But the O-line, unfortunately, mostly gutted, will take a little bit of time to gel.
Hey, Duke, I'm so sorry, but I found my favorite running back room again. Well, obviously, you got Lincoln Kienholz, Ohio State guy. Backed up Julian Sayin. Obviously, there was no way he was starting over Sayin, but, I mean, you go to not Oklahoma State, you go to Ohio State, you're good at football. That's
the assumption. Of course, there have been notable.
Okay. Nightmare. Anyway. I wrote down that they have a 3-headed monster at running back, actually.
Oh, 3 heads, okay.
Yeah, they got 3 heads. Obviously, they have Isaac Brown, who is dealing with an undisclosed injury, believe it or not.
Oh, no.
But he had a good season last year, so it's okay. Obviously, Kejuan Brown, who had a lower leg injury late last year.
Oh!
Yeah. And they brought in a Missouri guy by the name of Marquise Davis, who, as far as I'm concerned, was not dealing with any sort of injury, at least.
Well, yeah, he was also backing up, Ahmad Hardy, so...
Yeah.
That you don't expect him to have that much experience, but... Yeah.
At least he's not injured.
Yep, agreed.
Their receiver room is... I guess. They bring in a Florida State transfer by the name of Lawrence McCoy. Did you talk about him?
No, I did not.
Oh, well, even though he only had 399 yards, he turned up late in the season last year for the Seminoles. He's followed by, obviously, Trey Richardson, who you had mentioned,
yes,
who also turned up late in the season. And then they have the guy by the name of Jackson Voth from Drake. He could do something, I guess.
Hey, Drake.
And then, obviously, Brody Foley, really good, good season tight end-wise last year. Yeah. So I'm excited to see him hopefully improve off of last year.
Absolutely. On the edge, Clev Lubin, stud, captain of this defense. AJ Green, Tyler Thompson from UNC, menacing group of edges. Interior, though, is kind of questionable and gonna, not be as great. Lost pretty much everything. Linebacker room. I love it, honestly. Stanquan Clark is back. Antonio Watts is back. Hugh J. Capers is back. And a former Cardinal, after a 1-year UCLA sabbatical, and Benjamin Perry, is also back. So, tried the grass. It wasn't greener. Got to go to that Louisville bluegrass. Kind of ironic. It's bluegrass. The grass is not always bluer on the other side,
Well, grass isn't usually blue.
Well, that's why you don't leave Louisville. Last year's secondary was very imposing. While they lose a lot, I think they bring in some talented transfers to retool that group. It is a good Louisville team. This is a really good Louisville team. I just, this schedule, man. They play 2 SEC teams.
Yeah, this schedule's just gonna, slap them, in my opinion, but we'll get to me.
Yeah, no, I've been going 8-4, 7-2 in the ACC, with losses to Ole Miss, SMU, Syracuse, and ending the year with a loss versus Kentucky.
Yeah, I have Louisville going 7-5, 6-3 in the ACC. They lose to Ole Miss, they lose to SMU, They lose a upset to North Carolina State, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to Syracuse, and then they lose to Kentucky.
So
the only difference was North Carolina State.
I have them losing to 3 teams in my college football playoff, and then a bubble team. So it's really just unfortunate scheduling.
Yeah, it's just the schedule that they had.
They would be 9-3 in many other universes, and maybe they will be this year. It is Mr. 9-win Jeff Brom, so I don't know. I think they could certainly break out. We'll see. Did you go over your record?
Season.
Sorry, you did. You did, didn't you?
Did I go over who?
Your record.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I completely zoned out. I have no idea why. Okay. Miami. I didn't write a lot about Miami.
I wrote a bit about Miami.
One of the best teams in college football last year came oh so close to a natty win.
Mm-hmm.
Can they return even with all of their players getting drafted? Like, everyone got drafted.
The whole team just went to the NFL.
Everyone's gone. So they bring in Darian Mensah. They bring in Cooper Barkate. They bring in South Carolina's Vandrevius Jacobs. They retain Mark Fletcher at running back. They retain Malachi Tony at wide receiver. Fantastic weapons. Some of the best in college football. They also have breakout candidates. Josh Moore, Dalen Upshaw. Playmakers are absolutely stacked. One issue.
Yay! All I have to say is, yay! No, I do have more to say than yay.
Well, I have a little bit of an issue here. The O-line. They have a 5-star in Jackson Cantwell, but he is a freshman, y'all. Isn't he?
Yo, it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
You go ahead. Talk about.
Yeah, obviously.
Miami.
We were both very heavy on Darian Mensah. Guy from Duke had a really good season last year at Duke. Duke. Mark Fletcher and Shamar Brown return. Huge for Miami. I feel like this is a good offense, honestly. Malachi Tony, he's a stud. Cooper Barkate, stud from Duke. So they'll have Darian Mensah paired up with Cooper Barkate again. And then they got a South Carolina transfer by the name of Vandrevius Jacobs, who had 548 yards, 4 touchdowns last year for the Gamecocks. And then Elijah Lofton looks to be tight end 1. That's all I wrote about him.
Unsung hero of last year's team, defensive coordinator Corey Heatherman, has returned to lead this Canes defense once more, but they lose Ruben Bain and they lose Akeem Mesidor. That's tough to replace on the defensive line. I think he did pretty. I think he definitely wanted it to be another imposing defensive line. That is kind of the Miami culture, isn't it? Linebacker room, unfortunately, kind of meh. I'm gonna be honest. I don't love it. And then defensive back room. Also kind of thin, but Omar Thornton, stud, paired up with the young Bryce Fitzgerald, who kind of broke out last year as a redshirt freshman. So it's a fine defensive back room. It's not bad, Miami honestly. Level. I don't think this is at all playoff level defense. This is not going to be a good Miami defense. I'm just putting it out there now. As much as I think that Miami has recruited well. Under freaking Mario Cristobal, it's all
right.
I just think this is just a fine team. It's just fine.
I think it's just going to be an all right defense, honestly. Nothing like last year, in my opinion, though.
Which is why the Miami Hurricanes. No, I have the Miami Hurricanes going 6-6, 4-5 in the ACC.
Scared.
No. We will go over their wins. They beat Stanford. They beat Florida A&M. Then they beat Central Michigan. They cannot win against Wake Forest at home. They are the spoilers. They love spoiling.
I hear that.
And then wins against Pittsburgh and UNC. And a bowl eligible against Boston College. Winner goes to a bowl game. And Miami finally locks in and wins that one. I'm seeing a very Clemson-esque game or season this year for Miami.
Yeah, I have the Hurricanes going 6-6. 4-5 conference play.
Bang!
I don't think we agreed. We definitely disagree on some games, but that's okay because same record. I'll go over their wins, I guess, because you went over their losses, right?
I went over their wins.
I'll go over their losses then. They lose to Wake Forest, so I also have Wake
so
Forest
fun.
playing upset. They lose to Clemson. They lose to Florida. They lose to Florida State. They lose to Pitt. They lose to Notre Dame. And they lose to Virginia Tech. But they do go bowling after beating Boston College.
All right. But you don't have that being a bowl eligible. You just have Boston College being in the trenches by then.
I have Boston College being way down the standings by then.
Y'all, I love NC State, but I don't know this year. I really don't know. And I love CJ Bailey. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC. And I love Coach Dave Doran. He's above mediocre finishes every year, 14 years strong here at NC State.
That's good.
That's great.
Good for the ACC, so.
They got rid of Hollywood Smothers.
No!
I really like Hollywood Smothers, guys. He was hyping up the crowd when I was at the bowl game. They were playing ECU. I was like, dude, this Hollywood Smothers guy is huge. He was like the third string at that time, and he had like the starting job last year or something. And then they get rid of him this year. Where is he now? I think did we already talk about him?
Maybe.
No, he's at Texas. He's at Texas.
Oh, so we'll get to him next
We'll
week.
get to him next week. I'll be really excited about Texas.
Sure.
They do replace him with Duke Scott. I think he's pretty good in his own right, so not terrible. Wide receiver room got gutted. Incoming guys shouldn't be terrible, but mostly unknowns. JoJo Trader from Miami is a good signing. Victor Snow from Buffalo, also a good signing, even though last year's Buffalo offense was just not where it needed to be. And then Davion Dozier from App State's projected to be their wide receiver 3, I think, which I don't love. And then at tight end, they lose Justin Joly, and asking for the replacement to replicate his output is just not practical. There's not going to be another Justin Joly on this offense. And last year's O-line was very bad. It's a work in progress this year. They bring in a couple guys of potential, but it's not, where it needs to be.
Yeah, obviously CJ Bailey, heck of a season last year for the Pack. His stats were 3,147 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, not too shabby from Bailey. Jaden Scott looks to lead that running back room. He had a bit over 500 yards last year, and he's going to be followed by Davian Gauss, who was a UNC transfer from last year. So, switching sides from North Carolina to North Carolina State.
Is anything sacred these days? Come on! You don't do that, guys.
This receiver room I did write down as the weak spot of the offense. It's going to be most likely led by Victor Snow from Buffalo, who he had 846 for 8 touchdowns last season. And then they brought in a transfer from App State by the name of Davian Dozier. Words. He had 455 yards last year. Their tight end seems to be a Montana State transfer by the name of Hunter Providence. He had a pretty good season, actually, all things given for a FCS player. He had a good season last year for Montana State. So.
Well, Montana State, they were the national champions, weren't they, in the FCS ranks? So
yes, they were the natty champs for the FCS ranks.
Yeah, that's honestly not... I forgot. I wrote NC State a while ago. I forgot who they had as tight end, just I didn't like him as much as Justin Joly. He honestly shouldn't be terrible. Defensive line. They bring in a behemoth from Marshall in Katron Evans, but he's currently in an eligibility dispute. So if he doesn't end up winning that, there's really not a whole lot of notables on the D-line. Linebacker core, working with some good athletes, should find pieces to start as time goes on. And the secondary was pretty atrocious last year, and returned some pieces, but it also attacks the portal, grabbing King Mack from Penn State, Andre Evans from Georgia. Most of these guys couldn't crack starting lineups in the Big Ten or SEC. King Mack played a couple of games, Andre Evans didn't. I just don't like this defense. I really don't like it. There's a lot of holes in NC State this year, and I don't think I can back Dave Doran this year. But it shouldn't get him on the hot seat. Dave Doran's a good coach.
Well, I'm sure the jury will be out on that at some point in the season.
With that, I have NC State going 3-9, 1-8 in the ACC.
And you don't have him on the hot seat?
No, because it's one bad season. He's had good He's been so good. It's just one bad season. 2 bad seasons, then he's on the hot seat.
Dude, 3-9 is Boston College levels for me.
Okay, no, that's 2-10. If he went like 1-11, then I'm like, okay, hold on, what's going on? But
1-11 is hot seat
3-9,
no matter who you are.
He gets a win against Richmond. He beats the brakes off of Richmond, those snarky bums. Then he beats App State in the Davion Dozier revenge game.
Oh.
And then they beat Stanford on the road. They go cross country to beat Stanford.
Shocker.
And then they don't really defend their home turf very well after that.
Well, I would love to talk about this team. They go 6-6, 4-5 in the ACC. So I'm actually higher on them than you are.
Yes.
Even though this defense is actually very suspect. Anyway, they beat Virginia. They beat Richmond, which I'm sure you're happy about.
Yes, very.
They beat App State. They beat Louisville. They beat Stanford. Shocker, I know. And
Not a whole lot of teams beating Stanford this year, other than all of them.
Then they go on a 4-game losing streak until they beat North Carolina. So I guess, where was his name? I guess Davion Goose gets his flowers for leaving or something.
Yeah, I don't have that happening, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about UNC early, or do you want to get to them in the U's?
That is completely up to you.
Okay, we'll just go on to Pitt here.
I would love to Pitt Max.
Let's Pitt Max, y'all. Let's get some Pitt disease here. Back-to-back season with strong starts and disappointing finishes, a.k.a. Pitt Maxing. Narduzzi, 12th season leading the Pitt Panthers. He needs to start making his team close out the season strong, okay? And I'll tell you whether I think he does. Yeah, man. Defensive coordinator retired, but his replacement has been in the system since 2018, so there shouldn't be any drastic changes.
Oh.
Breakout star quarterback Mason Heinschel returns at quarterback after snatching Eli Holstein's chain last year. We'll talk about Eli Holstein later. Jakirian Turner. He's got a nickname that I didn't write down. He doesn't. I don't think he goes by Jakirian a whole lot. He took over for.
I wrote his real name down too.
He took over for Des Reed at running back last year. Somehow also so good. I love Des Reed. Y'all know this. I wouldn't stop talking about him last year. Even when he was injured, I was like, Des Reed, Des Reed, Des Reed. He's so good. Wide receiver room. Very lackluster. Loses both of their top targets last year. Not exactly finding their pieces to replace them. The O-line should be better. I think they'll be fine with what they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about Pitt?
I would love to never talk about this team after today.
Okay.
Like I said, around Baylor. Obviously, Mason you got that?
Heinschel.
Mason Heinschel. He took over against Boston College last season, and he didn't do too bad, all things given last season, but obviously it wasn't the best. Jakirian Turner, who I need to know this nickname by the end of
I'll look it up
now. And Lavelle Wright, who transferred from Western Kentucky. They both had decent seasons. Turner had 743 yards. Wright had 486. So overall, not a bad 1-2 tandem, but it's Pitt at the end of the day. They'll find a way to mess it up. Were you going to say something, Nick?
Back in Bushnell, his hometown, his nickname was Boosie. Boosie Turner. Playing for Narduzzi.
This wide receiver room brought back 2 guys by the names of Cataris Hicks and Bryce Yates. Both definitely need to have a step up from last year's production. And they bring in a Western Carolina transfer by the name of Malik Wright. He had 774 yards and 7 touchdowns. But that's Western Carolina. And their tight end 1 is Carson Kent. Good. I actually really like the pickup, given the fact he came from Oklahoma.
How about it? That's a good group of tight ends over there. What, Jason Witten from there coaching that place? That tight end room? I think it's
so.
Jason Witten. Hey, Western Carolina, you know who's thrown to him? Taron Dickens. It's a callback to NIU, guys. Watch the MAC. Nope, not in the MAC anymore. Mountain West episode. NIU is a MAC team, yo. Why'd they leave? Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Most of the defense is gone. Incoming transfers are certainly interesting. They'll be starting a defensive back from Slippery Rock. So, I'm very hesitant to back the defense as a whole.
Oh, my goodness.
Young team overall. This is just a rebuild year.
I guess.
So, the question is, does Pittsburgh, the Pitt Panthers, start off the season strong and then waste it away as the season goes on? Well, not really, because they never really get off to a hot start, unless you consider 1-0 and 2-2 a hot start, or 3-3 even. They start the season 3-3 with wins over Miami of Ohio, Bucknell, and UNC. And then they go on a 6-game losing streak to end the year, and truly, Pitt Max.
You really just love having this team Pitt Max, don't you?
It's Pitt. I love that. I mean, there's a lot of ACC teams that are going on terrible streaks.
Yeah, well, I don't have the Panthers going on a Pitt Maxing season. I just have them being very inconsistent with their wins and losses. They go 7-5.
Whoa.
4 in the 8. Yeah. Okay. All things. Their schedule is not as hard as it looks. If you think about it.
If I really think about it, there's a lot of good teams on this schedule that late in the season.
Anyway, I have them losing to UCF, which we went over last week, yes. Yep. I have them losing to Syracuse. I have them losing to Georgia Tech. I have them losing to Louisville, and I have them losing to California. There it is.
All right. These next 4 teams, there's gonna be a lot of. It's gonna be a roller coaster. We're just gonna have the time of our lives. SMU, 54 players from last team are gone. Oh my gosh! But
Wow.
Kevin Jennings is back for his final year of eligibility. Widely touted, dual threat ability. He's a great quarterback, as long as the game doesn't mean a whole lot. Maybe the worst postseason quarterback ever. Jitters against Penn State, visible jitters. That was a sight to behold.
Insane.
Despite all the departures, I think this is a very good and experienced offensive line that will keep KJ safe. While he scrambles out of the pocket, they grab Kendrick Raphael from Cal by way of NC State. That was another running back that was at that Military Bowl with Hollywood Smothers. I love those running backs. They were a great group. They have a guy trying to revive his career after a knee injury, an Alabama transfer, wide receiver Jalen Hale. And they grabbed Yannick Smith from ECU. Him and Kendrick Raphael probably fought in the Military Bowl. There was a big fight that broke out with like 10 seconds left that extended the game for much longer than it should have. Also, let's talk a little bit of Jordan Adams. This guy played for my Baltimore Orioles, and he is back in college to play for SMU at 26 years old.
Seriously?
Yes! He also played for the Angels. He might run laps around these guys. He was a dual sport star coming out of high school. He got drafted from high school, I believe, to play in the MLB because they're allowed to do that. He doesn't have college eligibility, so he's allowed to play. And then former UCF Knight, Randy Pittman, also here. I love this group. This is another great group.
You just really like the people on this team, don't you?
I'm loving SMU. Honestly, I love SMU every year. I'm loving SMU this year.
Well, obviously I love Kevin Jennings, but definitely don't put him in a big game.
No, absolutely don't.
Especially if it's against Penn State.
Yes, please don't put him against Penn State.
However, I love the Kendrick Raphael pickup from Cal. Great pickup. And then they bring back Derek McFall.
Derek McFall.
Who had a lackluster season last year for SMU.
Let's hope he just falls forward.
Well, hopefully he'll McFall not into the receiver room, who they really only brought along one transfer. Yamir Knight returned. He had 638 yards, not too shabby. Jalen Cooper comes back. He had like half that production. But Yannick Smith, that ECU guy, he his stats don't speak for him for how good of a receiver he is.
Because he had the other Smith at ECU that was doing equally as good.
So he's in line for a really good season for the Mustangs. And then I actually think this is the first time I've ever had to write this down, but they have a two-headed monster at tight end.
Yeah.
In my opinion. With Randy Pittman from Florida State and Theo Mellon or Storm from Texas A&M, who they both had very good and very similar seasons last year at the schools they were at. So,
yeah. No.
Actually a very exciting offense.
Super excited for the Pony Express. All right. Defense. Incredible last year, but their defensive coordinators headed to the Cowboys. Not the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the NFL Dallas Cowboys. I am so sorry. Interestingly enough, the system will have 3 offensive co-coordinators and 2 defensive co-coordinators. Okay, Rhett Lashley. Interesting gimmick here. I don't know if it's going to work, but who knows? First order of business is just cleaning up the turnovers. They turned it over way too much last year. I think that shouldn't be as much of an issue this year on offense.
Hopefully not.
I don't have a whole lot about the defense. I think it's just a fine group. It's plain and simple. SMU gets the jitters, big games away from home, like a 7-year-old when they got to go to school. It's away from home, and it's just not good. And they got a good schedule.
They actually do have they have a good schedule for their team, honestly.
I got SMU going 10-2.
Ooh.
8-1 in the ACC.
Oh.
Their only losses are against Syracuse on the road and Notre Dame on the road.
Well, I have the Pony Express going 10-2.
Oh.
8-1 in the ACC.
Oh.
The games aren't the same though.
Oh.
Yeah, they dropped the first game of the season to FSU, and then they go. Holy crap! Hold on. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. They go on a 9-game winning streak until they lose to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Tell you what, that week 13 game against Stanford, they're gonna be stat padding. That might just be like 120-3.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of...
Oh! Stanford, we've been talking about you all day. You're
not for the right reasons.
No. Oh, Captain Andrew Luck has handed the keys over to former Commanders quarterback coach Tavita Pritchard. Last year was Frank Reich being the interim head coach for a whole year. They couldn't find anyone who had the balls to coach Stanford because no one wants to coach Stanford. It is impossible to recruit because it is a nerd school. It's not even a cool nerd school. It's not even like a William and Mary. So it's like, why would you even go to Stanford, y'all? That's a lie. I'm sorry. Anyways, portal class legitimately sucks booty. This is terrible.
This team just made me cry when I was writing. I have 4 bullet points and it's less than a sentence long. Basically.
Y'all remember Davis Warren? Benched for Alex Orgy 2 years ago at Michigan. The second coming of Cade McNamara. Davis Warren. He will be the starter. Behind him, do you remember Dylan Risk? One of the many failed quarterbacks at UCF over these past 2 seasons. Pair them with true freshman Michael Mitchell Jr. and there's your quarterback room. Whew, okay, so they're not going to be throwing any passes. At least they got a decent running back. Micah Ford. Sure, Micah Ford's all right. Carter Shaw, interesting transfer from UCLA. Didn't really get any notable play in plenty of years with the program. He is the son of former Stanford head coach David Shaw. Probably the only reason he's here. O-line, abysmal last year. But they're bringing a guy, an offensive coordinator, Terry Heffernan, not from King of Queens, who used to be in this role before ditching for UVA, where he bolstered that group.
Good for him.
He'll make this O-line good eventually, keyword eventually, because this system needs time to develop with a very young O-line. This might be the worst Power 4 team.
This team speaks volumes, but let's mute the team. Obviously, Davis Ward looks to be your starting quarterback.
How?
He has not done anything notable since 2024.
Oh.
It is 2026.
It is 2026, and he didn't even do anything notable in 2024. All he did was suck booty and just let Alex Orgy start at Michigan.
It was simply just the last time he played in college football.
Oh.
Micah Ford, he is really the only quote-unquote productive guy on this offense, but not really. Their receiver room looks like it's going to be hurting badly. Not because of injuries, but because they're going to be led by a Yale transfer. He did get over. He got 1,000 yards though at Yale, so good for him. I guess.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, their tight end will be returning, and it's Benji Blackburn. Good luck to Stanford's offense, and I'm so scared to hear about this defense.
All right, this passing defense was a big reason why this team lost so many games last year, and their new defensive coordinator was a piece in the coaching of the Legion of Boom way back when in Chris Richard. But they did not bring anyone of interest in. This is terrible. I couldn't find anyone that I liked. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready to give my prediction. This team's going 1-11. The only reason they get a win is because they are playing Elon.
Yeah, I have a very good feeling we're about to agree on this. They're Stanford. Oh, wait, no. I had Stanford going 2-10.
No, come on. You haven't beaten Hawaii in week 0. Hell no. Hell no.
I have them beating Hawaii, and I have them beating Elon. I'm not even going to scroll down to go look at that.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess Hawaii has to travel, but this is a week 0 game. They're probably already there.
Well, you never know.
It's Mike Alejado and them. Come on, man. All right.
Let's just move on.
Let's move on. Oh, thank goodness we're at Syracuse.
Thank goodness, this is actually a more fun team, and we're not being sarcastic.
A great Syracuse team. You want to know why? Because Ricky Collins is not here anymore. Fran Brown, he acknowledged that last year was a complete train wreck in interviews. He's like, last year sucked, train wreck, everyone's gone. The entire coaching staff is pretty much overhauled. But Steve Angeli is back and he's healthy. And if he stays healthy, this is going to be a dangerous Syracuse team. Both productive running backs from last year are gone. Yassine Willis and Will Nixon, both gone. That sucks. But replaced by a 1,000-yard rusher at Jackson State, HBCU, in Ahmad Miller, and a minor LSU contributor in Jawan Johnson. Although run game shouldn't really be utilized too much. We know how much Angeli loves taking it deep. I think he should be throwing the ball a lot. So they'll be serviceable, Ahmad Miller and Jawan Johnson. Their top wide receiver weapon, Calvin Russell III, ruptured his Achilles in March, but apparently he should be good to go in late October. So, midway through the season, maybe as the season's winding down, that'll be a good boost to have. He is a true freshman. They also bring in FSU Elijah Moore and Miami of Ohio's Cole Weaver. That's a big one. I love Cole Weaver. Umari Hatcher also returns for a larger role. It's a talented group. Talented enough, I'll say, for Angeli to work his magic. Offensive line was bad last year. They retained some of it. It's also a very thin group, depth-wise. I was really pissed when Angeli went down last year.
Yeah.
I was like, no, dude. I love Steve Angeli. I think he's going to be a sleeper Heisman.
Yeah, Steve Angeli obviously started last year for the Syracuse Orange. Tore his Achilles against Clemson. I went back, looked at the stats. He had 1,333 yards, and 10 touchdowns through 4 games.
Exactly.
He was having a really good season until he went the Aaron Rodgers route.
Dude, so pissed. Okay, sorry.
They bring in a transfer from They bring in an LSU transfer by the name of Juwan Johnson. Triple J, as I'll call him for the rest of the year.
Right.
Looks like he will be starting, honestly, just because he's from LSU. But Ahmad Miller does not look like a bad number 2 at all whatsoever. So, I wouldn't be mad seeing JJJ start. but I wouldn't be mad seeing Amon Miller start either. I really like this room. This is running back room number 3 in my running back room rankings for the ACC. The receiver room, I wrote looks abysmal.
Okay.
It's just because of the production from last year. So, obviously Cole Weaver from Miami, Ohio, he did what he did. He had 642 yards. Amari Hatcher and Darius Johnson both didn't do a whole lot for Syracuse last year. The only reason I said it's abysmal is because those are guys who not only are stepping up, but they have to take that step forward, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To let Steve Angeli do his thing again. And then Noah Myers, a Western Kentucky transfer, he had 357 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Hilltoppers. Oof.
Defense. Last year's defense sucked bad all year. It didn't matter if Angeli was hurt. It didn't matter if he was playing. It was a bad defense. But I'm really liking it this year. I'm really liking it. Defensive line got some great transfers. FCS All-American Keyshawn Johnson, UNLV's Tunmise Adeleye, and returner David Omopariola on the edges. Maryland man Dylan Fontes alongside Rashard Perry returns on the interior. It's a great, deep room on the defensive line. I'm actually shocked. A lot to love about the linebacker room, too. Antoine Deslauriers, standing up as a leader. Toledo transfer Chris DeApollonia, bringing great skill to the room. And they had Jamie Tremble move from tight end to linebacker. Yes, the brother of Tommy.
Tommy Tremble!
The only bright spot in last year's secondary, Demetrius Samuel Jr., returned after a great true freshman season. Corner beside him, Chris Peel, also getting some hype. Safety room is unfortunately still Syracuse level, though. So they'll probably have a couple issues, but I wouldn't put too much weight in how good the safeties do. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, Fran Brown did a fantastic job getting this team to where it needs to be. So this is my 12-0 team.
You know what? I'm not mad about it.
Where are their losses? Nowhere.
This isn't a 12-0. I don't have a 12-0 team. The only 12-0 team that I have is Texas Tech. So, and I think they were my Big 12 winner. Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I have the Syracuse team actually being really good, given the fact that the ACC is not all too bad this year. They go 9-3.
Okay, I'll really take that. I mean,
I think it's more realistic than 12-0. But I think, honestly, they could fall anywhere between 9-3 and 12-0. So, I have them losing to California. They go on a heck of a win streak until they lose to SMU. And then they lose to Notre Dame. So, their 3 losses are against 3, in my opinion, solid teams in college football.
They could... No, you can't make the college football playoff at 9-3. No!
That's what's going to suck, is when I'm going through all these teams... As much as I would love, they're going to be on the bubble, but they're just going to be just 2. Those 3 losses are going to hurt them. That number is really not looking good for them. What's going to suck.
See, I have them beating Notre Dame because that's the last game of the season, and I have so much chaos happening in the last game of the season. I'm just kind of manifesting it because that would be so awesome if Wake Forest ruined everyone's season or ruined Duke's season. Syracuse ruined Notre Dame's season. We'll get to UNC versus NC State, but that's, I think, the only win I have them getting in the conference. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it'll be a fun week. Let's talk UNC.
Heck yeah. I wrote them as North Carolina instead of UNC, so I got to scroll back up. In my
That's
notes.
Completely fair. I was debating for longer than they probably should have. Bill Belichick got a reality check when his team went 4-8 and didn't produce a single draft pick for the first time in a decade.
I'm not shocked.
That was UNC, obviously, not Bill Belichick. He wasn't eligible to produce draft picks when he was in the NFL, unless it was the CFL.
Yeah. Well, I don't think any NFL player in their right mind would go to the CFL.
Brendan Sorsby.
Well, he's not in the NFL yet, so let's stop tooting his own horn.
Yeah. Freddie Kitchens is out at offensive coordinator, and in comes Bobby Petrino, who knows his way around an inappropriate relationship.
God, Freddie Kitchens to Bobby Petrino. What a...
0-7 as the interim head coach at Arkansas last year. What are we doing?
My goodness.
What are we doing? QB battle is between... This is our first QB battle of the night, I think.
Really?
I think, unless, no, there was a kind of QB battle at Clemson, but I'm pretty sure Vizina's got that one squared away. Wisconsin and Maryland transfer Billy Edwards Jr., who is kind of just fine, but he's recovering from a knee injury. Then there's young Texas A&M transfer Miles O'Neill and early enrollee Travis Burgess. Probably going to Billy Edwards Jr. If he doesn't get off to a good start, it'll probably be Miles O'Neill. I doubt Travis Burgess sees a whole lot of time outside. He's probably going to redshirt. I'd have to assume. Running back Damon June, probably.
Probably Damon.
Was one of the few bright spots of last year's team, making his way up the roster as the season went on. He should make a jump. He should be a good running back here at UNC. Not as good as Omarion Hampton, of course, but he'll be decent. Benjamin Hall should make this room serviceable as his back, I think. Or are we talking wide receiver? I didn't even write down a position for Benjamin Hall.
I think you were on wide receiver.
I'm at wide receiver. Benjamin Hall should make the wide receiver room serviceable, with Jordan Shipp returning at wide receiver as well. The guys behind him carry intrigue and athleticism, but can't do anything under a mid-quarterback, you'd think. And then the entire starting O-line is gone and will likely be talked about all season for the wrong reasons.
Probably. Well, I guess in your quarterback, I guess for you as a quarterback battle, I like naming starting quarterbacks unless it's, like, in my opinion, like, literally neck and neck. But, I mean, I just like naming starting quarterbacks for the sake of, in my notes, I have projected QB1 as the first bullet point. I put Billy Edwards over, what was the other guy?
Miles O'Neill.
Obviously, he was at Maryland, he was at Wisconsin, he's now at UNC. This was the other guy from Northern Virginia I was telling you about.
Oh, really?
He went to Lake Braddock Secondary School in Burke, Virginia.
Oh, right, Burke.
Which is in Fairfax County, in case anybody was wondering. So he is a fellow Nova head as well, following Dawson Poe. Not to Boston College, though. Oh! That running back room it looks like it's going to be split between Benjamin Hall and Damon June, who both had all right seasons last year, I guess, other than the fact neither got over 500 yards. But they didn't start, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, June came up the starting roster, he was running back 4 or 5 when the season started, so
they didn't have that much production, but I mean that's just because they didn't start.
It's because really UNC was going through a whole lot of donkey doo-doo last year.
Jordan Shipp looks to be returning at receiver for them. He had a solid season, honestly, all things considered. Yeah. From that UNC team, he had 685 yards and 6 touchdowns. He'll be followed by a Lehigh transfer by the name of Mason Humphrey, who had 678 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then they have Trek Kekahuna following Billy Edwards from Wisconsin. He had a decent season last year for the Badgers, and he's going to look to build that relationship with Billy Edwards. And their tight end looks to be an Ohio State transfer by the name of Jelani Thurman, who is looking to step into a starting role this season for UNC.
All right. Let's get on to the defense.
Lovely idea.
Melkart Abu Jadue plays on the right edge. He's returning. He's huge. That's a really... All right, I'll try it again. Melkart Abu Jaude, returning, is huge. They have a productive Richmond transfer in Donovan Hoylett, and Penn State transfer Jalen Harvey. Seems like they got enough in the portal for this unit to be at least semi-improved. But aside from the line, I'm not loving it. Feels like a lot of it got overlooked. Plus, it's Belichick's son coordinating it. When he gets back from medical leave, he joins General Manager Michael Lombardi on his administrative leave. It's a mess of a program. I mean, there's 4 scandalous men coordinating and managing this team. It's like Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, this is Gotham City.
Yeah. So here's what I have here. UNC doing. What's going to happen is North Carolina's going to beat East Tennessee State. They're obviously going to lose to TCU in the season opener. And then what's going to happen is they're going to go lose to Clemson, Notre Dame, okay, whatever. Pitt, okay, that's a home game for them. Duke, Syracuse, Miami, they're going to lose a couple road games. Belichick's still with us. Then they lose to UConn. And in Week 10, after Week 10 of the college football season, Bill Belichick will have been fired.
I would hope.
And then, I don't know, Bobby Petrino's the new interim head coach. They lose to Louisville, they lose to UVA, and then Week 13, the guys are fired up. They want to win for Bobby Petrino. They want to win and beat the brakes off NC State because they're not that good this year. This might be the year. And they do it. They beat NC State.
Well,
2-10.
I probably have Belichick fired way earlier than you do. Well, they don't win a game in the ACC.
Okay.
And they win 2 games on the season.
All right.
They actually beat TCU in their opener.
That's just not going to happen. I mean, this is the Ireland game, but...
And I'm sure everyone and their mother and their grandmother can guess what their second win is on the season.
I'm going to say East Tennessee State.
Ding, ding, ding!
Let's go.
It is East Tennessee State. They lose 10 straight games. Belichick gets fired probably after Miami or Syracuse, in my opinion.
Okay.
And Petrino isn't a lot better. So he probably wouldn't be coaching for them next year.
Yeah.
But this Belichick experiment in college is not going to work out.
Maybe Steve takes over.
Oh my goodness.
That would be so funny if Bill Belichick's little boy leads UNC to a win in the Tobacco Road rivalry against NC State.
Well, then I guess the Belichick experiment still goes on.
It still goes on. It's just in a different vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit of UVA.
I guess we can talk about another team in Virginia.
Don't worry. There's another one right after this.
Oh, I know.
Tony Elliott led this team to a shocking 11-3 season, claiming the ACC regular season title, and getting extended through 2030. Tony Elliott's here to stay, you'd think.
Congrats to Tony Elliott.
There's a lot to like about this offense. The O-line's a great unit. The running back room is deep. They grabbed Peyton Lewis from Tennessee, Jaquel Middlebrook from NTSU, who is actually like a decent part of that terrible team. Lewis was pretty good at punching it in last year from close distance. Middlebrook, of course, a workhorse for the Blue Raiders. And they go from Chandler Morris, North Texas guy, to Bo Pribula, the Penn State, Missouri guy.
Mm-hmm.
Pribula's a good prospect. He had some issues last year, but it was also like his first full season starting, so I really don't blame him. They also have Eli Holstein, just in case. I told you I'd talk about Eli Holstein later. He's here
You did
at
mention
UVA.
that. Oh, more note card news. Let's go.
Oh yeah, there was something that happened like really recently. Someone retired.
Well, that too, but
Yeah. Wide receiver room. Unproven.
you can say that.
Big concern is that every typical red zone option last year completely gone. Even their niche backup quarterback Grady Brosterhouse and surefire tight end Sage Ennis are gone. And Jamari Taylor, obviously big loss. But like I said, I like that running back room.
All right. Was that it?
Yeah, I already talked about the O-line.
Do you not talk about the receivers at all?
No, I said it's unproven. I didn't like it.
Well, yeah, it is actually unproven, but I'll definitely give my 2 cents. Bo Pribula, Penn State guy, Missouri guy, now a Virginia Cavalier. He's been all right, but like I literally put there's nothing to write home about him. I mean, you get one. It's 2 sides of the same coin. He's either going to be really bad or really good or not really bad or he's going to be decent or he's going to be good.
Okay.
Which is all things considered, that's still really good, but
Yeah, I like a high floor, unlike
Yeah.
Ricky Collins, which is I don't even know what his ceiling is.
he has a high floor but a low ceiling. I'll give him that. This running back room is transfer ridden. It is going to be led by Jakail Middlebrook from MTSU, which, like you said, good player on an awful team. And then they bring in a Tennessee transfer, Peyton Lewis. Didn't do too much in Tennessee, so I'm sure he'll find a bigger role here in Virginia. That receiver room, also mainly transfers that I wrote down. They bring in Rico Flores from UCLA. He had 274 yards last year. Then they bring in a Kent State guy by Deshaun Martin who had 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. So a lot to prove in that room, but if it pans out really well in my opinion. And then, this is my name of the ACC, by the way.
Oh.
At tight end, Dakota Twitty.
Dakota Twitty.
Dakota Twitty is my ACC name of the week.
All right. I must have skipped over them. I did UVA very early. I think they play. Who do they play early in the year? Because they probably played like a Conference USA team, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, they
play Delaware. So this was one of the first teams I wrote about.
Oh, perfect for you.
So I wrote UVA a while ago.
Yes.
Because Delaware was the first team I did. So
yeah.
Defense. Did you end your shtick?
Yeah, I was done.
Okay. Defensive line brings back Fisher K-Mac and transfers in some guys to make that position. So I'm all over the place. All we're 106 minutes in. I'm all out of control. Clearly, I like the defensive line. Okay, that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Do you really like Virginia this year?
No, but we can. You can give your picks.
I have UVA going not great 5-7, 2-7 in the ACC. They beat NC State to start the year in week 0. And then they beat Norfolk State, and then they beat West Virginia, and then they beat Delaware. It's the 4-0 start. It would be such a shame if they... I don't know. Oh, they don't play Pitt, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't play Pitt, so they can't... They're Pitt maxing without even playing Pitt. They got Pitt disease by association.
They got a proxy Pitt disease.
They got a proxy Pitt disease. It's absolutely nasty and incredibly contagious. They beat UNC in week 12.
Yeah, so I have them doing worse than 5-7.
Okay.
I have them going 3-9.
Oh, okay.
They win a game in the conference though. They beat Norfolk State, in case anybody's wondering. They beat Delaware. Wouldn't it be funny if this team just loses 6 games in a row? Because that's what they do. Then they beat North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other team on the other side of the coin that we get to talk about next is
fun fact about this year, the Commonwealth Clash will include 2 quarterbacks who backed up Drew Aller at Penn State because Ethan Grunkemeyer is here with his head coach, James Franklin.
Hey, the reason that Virginia Tech lost their head coach last year is because ODU beat the rakes off of them.
Well, Brent Pry is not gone from this program. He was fired a head coach.
He's not a head coach anymore. That's what matters.
He is the defensive coordinator now. They fired him, and then James Franklin rehired him, because I think they were in the same system at one point. So
they were in the same system, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Ronnie Ronnie, Franklin, and Pry were kind of all in the same system.
Mm-hmm. He brings a staff member with him from Penn State in Ty Howell as his offensive coordinator. And like I said, Grunkemeyer will be the quarterback. He slowly got better as the season went on. He's better than Kyron Drones. That's what VT fans want to hear. Bryce Baker is honestly a pretty good backup to have out of UNC. Better than most. I mean, a lot of these teams, it's like, you've seen the Notre Dame quarterback situation? It is CJ Carr and then just like 4 freshmen. So, yeah, you'd love to see that they care in case Grunkemeyer either doesn't work out or gets injured early or late in the season. Running back, I think has some good depth behind Marcellus Hawkins, notably Louisiana's Bill Davis. And then wide receiver, Aiden Green and Keyshawn Brown from Duke. We already talked about him. Good talents, but I don't know if I'm a fan of the rest, honestly. But don't worry, because it is a Penn State offense probably, so tight ends will probably be the focal point of the offense in terms of the passing game. And Luke Reynolds, very capable tight end for the system that Howell runs. And in the spring game, fun fact, other than the scoreboard getting demolished, the tight ends accounted for nearly half of the receiving yards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, Ethan Gronkmeyer, following James, well, not following necessarily, but, he probably did. He comes with James Franklin to the Commonwealth, obviously, welcomed with open arms to the Commonwealth, because James Franklin did not have a good season last year at all at Penn State for when he was there. Ethan Gronkmeyer, all things considered, backing up Drew Aller, so I guess Drew Aller was a good quarterback or something.
No.
Anyway, that running back room looks to be led by Marcellus Hawkins, who did not have a too bad season running the ball last year. He had 759 yards. However, he only recorded one touchdown.
Yes, correct.
So this is not your bell cow back, to say the least. But they do bring in a bell cow back from the Raging Cajuns. They bring in a... Oh, I forgot to write down the name.
Bill Davis?
Shoot. Probably.
Yeah, it's Louisiana, yeah. I talked about it.
Yep, he had 767 yards with 6 touchdowns last year for the Raging Cajuns. So, you know what? Maybe Marcellus Hawkins has a very similar season. Hopefully not, though, for his sake.
Yeah.
This receiver room looks to be led by Keyshawn Brown, who came in from Duke. We talked about him. And Aiden Green, who finished last year with 545 yards. Their tight end looks to be Luke Reynolds. He is a Penn State transfer. Shocker, because it's like James Franklin is the coach here or something.
What?
He showed improvement, though, from his first season to his second season. So, if he is improving season by season, he should improve in year 3, correct?
That's what you think, and there's no Tyler Warren in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bad O-line unit, mostly returns, not much to love there. Defensive line, good mix of returning studs, newcomer talent, and depth. Noah Chambers and Caleb Spencer are a good linebacker duo, but behind him, I don't know how good it is. And then, secondary, portaled in some guys from G6 schools. I kind of like it, but it's a patchwork at the end of the day. I don't know how well it's going to work in the ACC. So with that, Virginia Tech has a great non-conference. I'm going to be completely honest. 6-3 in the ACC, but they end the season overall 9-3, because it is James Franklin at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Their only losses are to Boston College in Week 4 on the road, Cal on the road, and then SMU on the road. Let's see how many teams they beat that are over 500. 5-7, 6-6, 1-11. 5-7, 6-6, 3-9, 6-6, 7-5, but it's Old Dominion. Yeah, so it's a very similar story to FSU, to where they just don't play anybody.
Well, I have Virginia Tech. You know what? They go 6-6, but they go 3-6 in conference play.
Exactly.
I'm going over their losses because I don't want to talk about who they beat.
Okay.
Because, well, actually, no, I'll talk about they beat the Sun Belt champions.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'll say. But their losses come against Boston College, Pittsburgh, then they go Pitt-maxing.
Yeah, Pitt-maxing.
They lose to California, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and SMU. So actually, they lose all 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they go on a 3-game win streak. They win the Commonwealth Clash against UVA.
Finally. After last season. I mean, you know, I know Virginia Tech. I know plenty of Virginia Tech people. They were pissed they lost it.
Yeah, well, all things, yeah.
We've been going for way too long now. Let's talk about Week 4 real quick.
Let's wake up this forest.
Let's wake. What a job Jake Dickert did last year, improving this team into an ACC contender in its first year. Come on. Let's go, Wake.
Congratulations.
They retain a very good portion of starters on defense, but the offense does get gutted. Quarterbacks Robbie Ashford and Deshaun Purdy are both gone, but they bring in former South Alabama and UNC quarterback Gio Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
This could either go very well or very poorly.
That'd be fun to see.
Jake Dickert, he made Robbie Ashford look good. Sure, I mean, it was not too long ago that Gio Lopez was he Offensive Player of the Year in the Sun Belt when he, 2 years ago?
I have no idea.
Okay. Either way, he was pretty darn close if he wasn't. I think there's still something there in Gio Lopez. He's back with his old offensive coordinator at South Alabama. He needs to prove it this year, though.
Yes.
Also, running backs don't look very incredible this year because Damon Claiborne, I think, did go in the draft. And the incoming receivers also look pretty mediocre. It really depends on how good Gio Lopez ends up being. Offensive line experiences a lot of turnover and will need some time to develop, especially since most of the transfers played at the FCS level last year. It's probably just some big guys who weren't playing in big games. But retaining the defense and the defensive staff, absolutely huge. It'll be the reason they win games. It'll be one of the best defenses in the ACC. Just, you won't hear about it.
Yeah, they bring in Gio Lopez. I think he's the starter, honestly. So, I know
he definitely will be the starter. Yeah.
He did look like he struggled last year, but
that was under the Belichick offense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Belichick's offense. Running back room looks to be led by Ty Clark. He had some production for Florida last year. He had some production last year. They bring in KD Daniels, though, from Florida, who will be looking to step into a bigger role at Wake Forest. Their receiver room looks to be led by Carlos Hernandez. He had 629 yards last year for the Demon Deacons. He's looking to step up. But another guy who I'm also intrigued in is Cam Shanks from Arkansas. He didn't do much at Arkansas, but the year prior at UAB, he had 656 yards. So he's proven that he can and will catch the ball. He's looking to step into a bigger role as well, stepping down conference-wise, going to the ACC. And Cameron Johnson was the tight end last year. He was there last year. He looks to improve off of some would call meh season at best for him. So he looks to improve off of last year.
All right, and I already went over the defense. Pretty much everything returns, and it was all pretty good. So, Wake Forest, I have going a sneaky 9-3, but 6-3 in the ACC. Only losses are to Louisville, Cal, and SMU, the three toughest teams that they play, and I think they're all on the road. So,
that's still respectable losses.
Yeah, and they have a very easy non-conference.
Oh yeah, I have your Demon Deacons going 7-5, 4-5 in conference play. So, actually, yeah, all of their non-conference games are wins. Shocker.
Akron, Purdue, Merrimack.
They get Merrimack so late in the season. That annoys me so much.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, well, their losses come towards Louisville, California, SMU. Hold on.
You're on me, I think.
No, I'm on me.
Oh, okay.
Louisville, California, SMU, Duke, and Georgia Tech. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
So they have, in my opinion, 5 respectable losses in the conference.
Well, I guess it's time to quickly go over our standings. At 17, I have Stanford, 1-11, 0-9 the conference. Tied for 15th, I have Pitt, 3-9, and NC State 3-9, 1-8 in the conference. 14th, I have UNC, 2-10, 1-7 in the conference. 13th, I have UVA, 5-7, 2-7 in the conference. At 12th, I have Boston College, 5-7, 2-6 in the conference. Tied for 10th, I have Georgia Tech and Clemson, 6-6, 5-7, 3-5 in the conference. At 9, I have Miami, 6-6, 4-5 in the conference. Tied for 7th, I have Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, 9-3, 6-3 in the conference. 6, I have Florida State, 10-2, 6-2 in the conference. And then Tied for fourth, I have Cal and Louisville, 8-4 and 10-2, 7-2 in the conference. Then at a tie at the top, I have Duke and SMU, 10-2, 11-1, 8-1 in the conference. But the 11-1 team, their one loss, knocks them out of contention, and it'll be SMU sneaking up into that second place spot to play Syracuse, 12-0, 9-0 in the conference. And it's a big game for SMU. That should tell you all you need to know. Syracuse is going 13-0 heading into the college football playoff with the number 3 seed.
Good for them. Good for them, all things considered, that they had Tuesday not too long ago.
Yeah, don't forget that Syracuse ended the season ranked 2 years ago.
Oh, no, I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to buzz through this as quick as possible. 17, Stanford, 2-10, 0-9 in conference play. North Carolina, 2-10, 0-8 in conference play. Virginia, 3-9, 1-8 in conference play at 15. Boston College at 14, 3-9, 1-7 conference play. Virginia Tech, 6-6, 3-6 conference play. North Carolina State, 6-6, 4-5 conference play. Miami, 6-6, 4-5 conference play. So Miami takes the tiebreaker. Wake Forest, 7-5, 4-5 in conference play at 10. Then Clemson is 6-6, 4-4 in conference play at 9. Pitt is at 8, 7-5 overall, 5-4 in conference play. Louisville is at 7 with a 7-5 record, 6-3 in conference play. Then this is where things start to get really interesting, because I have all the 9 and 10 win teams up here. So that's 6 teams with at least 9 wins in this conference. I have Georgia Tech going 9-3, 6-2 at number 6, by the way.
Yeah.
I have Florida State going 10-2, 6-2 overall. Then I have Syracuse going 9-3, but because they have the extra conference game, they go 7-2 in conference play at 4.
Yeah.
So they edge out Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Florida State got boned with the one less. They're still. I think they're finally going to have all of them play 9 in like the 2030 season or something like that. They're all because everyone's scheduling future games and homes, and it's just impossible if you're scheduling a game for 2030 with Liberty and Kennesaw State.
Anyway, the Golden Bears barely, by the way, miss out on the ACC Championship. They go 10-2, 7-2 in conference play. Your number 2 is going to be SMU, 10-2, 8-1 in conference play. And they're actually tied with Duke, 10-2, 8-1 in conference play. As you said, big game for SMU. That says enough. Duke wins the conference again. But this time, they prove that they are a good team instead of the team that broke college football last year.
That is so funny. That would be awesome if Duke just goes out and just does it again.
I would actually be so happy if they do that. Because then it's like, hey, we did it last year, and now we have an actual team, and we can do it again.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay. Done with college football? For the day?
We are done with college football for the day.
Guys, we're in the playoffs for the PGA Tour.
I saw a commercial for it earlier, and I got really excited.
You got really excited?
Am I old now?
Everyone can like golf, guys. It's not an old people sport. It's a relaxing sport. Okay.
Well,
not unless you're Jordan Spieth. Then you just have a really exciting time going to all the wonders of the world just in one 18-hole golf round. But I'll start with the FedEx St. Jude Championship number 5 pick, and that will be Xander Schauffele at plus 380. This list is probably going to end up being my top 5 best golfers in the PGA Tour with just a couple of caveats. I've been on the X-Man a lot recently with mixed results. Just got second place at the Rocket Classic. He's in form, and he should get another top 5 for me.
Well, my number 5 is going to be... I put him in my top 5 actually a lot recently. It's going to be Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay.
Which I've talked about this guy a ton recently, so I'm not going to mention that he won the Masters, even though I just did. I will talk about his history at the FedEx St. Jude Championship and TPC Southwind, I believe is what it is, yes. Well, he won here in 2024. He got T2 at this event or course. I can't tell which one it is, but that doesn't really matter.
I think they played it at Southwind basically every year.
Yeah, well, they played the Barclays at Southwind in like the early 2010s. Okay. Anyway, he got T2 in 2021 here. As of recent, he got T3 at the 3M Open, T5 at the Rocket Classic, and T7 at the Wyndham Championship. So he has been improving recently. And
Yeah,
it's
very
exciting.
slow start to the year.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's my number 5.
My number 4 is going to be a guy that I've really come around on. You know, I was a big hater for about 1.5 years, but Matty Fitz is back on this list. He's my number 4. He was on fire all year and then missed the cut at the Open Championship. Guess which week I picked him?
Probably not the week.
Probably the Open Championship, because that's just how it goes for me. Still, top 5 against the world's best should be still in the picture for Matty Fitz.
Well, I swear, I'm just picking guys that I know at this point, and to be fair, that's not a bad idea.
For the playoffs, just pick the best guys.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm so far behind. At this point, I might as well just start picking guys that it makes sense to pick. Not the long shots, not the Jonathan Vegases of the world.
Yeah.
Sam Burns, he's my number 4 pick.
How about it? I love it.
Go ahead. Say, oh, okay, you love it? Thank you. Sam Burns, he got T2 here as well with Hideki Matsuyama in 2021, and he got T5 back in 2024. He has been up and down this year, kind of. He seems to be on the up, though, right now. He got T4 at the Memorial, he got 2nd of the U.S. Open, and he got 3rd of the Open. So, and that is a month ago. So he's had a month of golf to relax, basically.
Yeah.
By all means, this guy is one of the better golfers in the field, which obviously is what you look for when you're putting players in your top 5. But I'm pretty confident in Sam Burns to get a 4th place here.
Well, I think that Sam Burns is a little bit better than that. I think he'll go out and get 3rd place. Yeah, I mean, they don't call him Bermuda Burns for nothing. He rolls the rock to perfection on Bermuda grass. And guess what we're putting on this week? We're putting on some Bermuda grass.
Bermuda grass.
3 top 5 since the last 5 starts. It's a no-brainer. Gotta go with Sam Burns.
Well, my number 3 is going to be the hottest golfer on the PGA Tour, Cameron Young.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you typing it out already. Obviously, he has not been doing the best recently. His best finish outside of his win at the Cadillac was a 2nd place, though, at the Open. Here, he has only been at this event 4 times, and it's been over the last 4 years. He did not start off good at all, because in 2022, he got T31. 2023, he got T31. 2024, he got T61. Last year, he got 5th.
I know.
In my opinion, his game has improved clearly.
Yes.
If you just look at those results by themselves. Is this a bit of a long shot? Maybe. But he is one of the better golfers, not only in this tournament, but honestly, in my opinion, on the tour. So.
I mean, the best golfers on tour are kind of Patrick Rogers, maybe. But, yeah. No, he's dead last, isn't he? Okay. My number 2 is going to be Scotty Scheffler. I mean, he loves the spot. Imagine he just wins out in the playoffs. He just wins the last 3 tournaments of the year. He's like, screw you guys. That would be great, but...
He'd be like Nicholas Scott Thomas, screw you.
Yeah, he would say, Nicholas Scott Thomas, what the hell are you even thinking? And then he'd just win everything. No, I'm picking him 2nd place.
Any words, or?
It's Scotty Scheffler. I've talked about him every single week he's been in the field.
So my number 2 is not Scotty Scheffler. It's Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
I think I've talked. We have all talked about Rory
ad nauseum.
Literally,
yeah.
Any week he is on this. Any week he's golfing, we've talked about him. So it's not like we're missing anything if I don't say anything necessarily.
Yeah.
He won the Masters, I guess.
Twice. Yeah.
Twice. Yeah.
My number 1's going to be not Rory McIlroy, just a little bit across the English Channel. We're going Tommy Ladd, Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh.
I need to win I need to get some points, okay? He hasn't finished outside the top 15 since the PGA Championship. That was like 3 majors ago.
Wow.
Last year, he locked it in the playoffs. He won the playoffs. He won the PGA Tour. How crazy is that? He hadn't even won on the PGA Tour until last year's final event. 3 top 5s here at the FedEx St. Jude at TPC Southwind. He can break through here early in the playoffs.
My number one is going to be Scotty Scheffler. He's the best golfer in the world. He's the best golfer on the tour. Scotty Scheffler's my number one. I'm not going for long shots because I am so far behind on points. It's not even funny. It's just depressing.
It is pretty depressing until you realize that you started like halfway through the season. So
Emilio's ahead of me in points. That's why it's depressing.
That's depressing.
The fact that he started later than way later than me
and stopped earlier than you.
And I'm still losing.
Yeah, but I think you're still leading last place picks.
Well, that's just great because I don't get any points out of it.
You don't get any points out of that, but
I had like
just
four
tell us who your last place pick is.
It's Patrick Rogers.
It is Patrick.
He's bottom of the odds board. That's literally all I'm going to say. But let me pull up his data golf just for fun.
I think he won like one event.
Oh my goodness! He got third at the Sony Open in Hawaii
early in the year. Okay.
Yeah, in case you were wondering, holy crap! He has been here since 2015. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has been cut 5 times.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, this. You know what? I might get it again.
I'm going with the guy that I have mentioned on this podcast. Let's see.
A lot of guys, Nick.
1, 2. I've only picked him to get last once. Or twice.
Wow.
I've only picked him to get last twice. It's Aldrich Potgieter.
You're picking him to get last?
Yes, Aldrich Potgieter's get... Look up his data golf. He's terrible this year.
I'm kidding. I know.
He's a driving distance merchant. I said that last time when I picked him to get last at like the RBC Heritage or something. He's at an accuracy course. He's also been mega trash this season. He barely snuck into the field with 2 top 10s.
Good for him, I guess.
Great job for making it. I'm shocked he's here.
You know what? Good on him, though. Maybe he proves you wrong and goes and wins or something.
I would not be shocked.
That would be hilarious if he does that, though.
No, he's going to be like the round 1 leader for no reason. Round 1 top 10. Put him in for a round 1 top 10 right now, just to spite me. He probably has the first tee time, too. No, wait, that's Koiven. I think Koiven has the first tee time. Anyways, oddball, I'll go. Minwoo Lee, round 1, hole 3, par, plus 100.
That is your oddball?
That's my oddball. It's a par 5. He's going to get par.
So you are banking on him getting par in the first round?
In hole 3.
On hole 3?
On hole 3, yes.
So you're really only going to be watching round 1, hole 3 of Minwoo Lee?
Yes. I will be tuned in for round 1, hole 3, Minwoo Lee.
Bro, it'll be like a POV camera of Minwoo Lee on your screen.
Yes.
On hole 3 in round 1.
In round 1, on hole 3.
Well, mine is nothing like that. Mine is Rory, McIlroy, and Cam Young to get a top 5. So I'm doubling down on this because it's plus 1,200 to happen.
Okay.
So I'm doubling down on McIlroy and Young getting a top 5.
Not a bad pick. I don't know. I think Rory's more of a bomber. I think he's not going to do too well here. I bet he doesn't even like the TPC Southwind.
He's going to like say something in a press conference like, "Oh, I love TPC Southwind."
Yeah, and then I'm going to be like, boom! Yeah. It's time for the note card.
You know what? We're actually filling up the note card again.
Oh.
The front isn't full yet, but most of it is. I had to do another half of the note card again. So, it made me very happy to see a lot happen. We'll start off with the NFL. Stephon Diggs signed a deal with the Commanders. I forgot how much it was for. Let me check really quickly. I'm pretty sure it was a small amount. It was a $12 million deal with the Commanders for 1 season.
Congratulations.
So, congratulations, Stephon Diggs. Welcome home. Welcome back to the DMV. Dylan Brooks got a massive payday from the Phoenix Suns. He got a 3-year, $73 million deal from the Suns.
All right.
That's not a lot of money until you put it into perspective how much he's getting per year. That is a lot of money to get per year. It's like $24.3 million, I believe, per year, so good for him.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor reset the running back market after Bijan Robinson reset the running back market. Jonathan Taylor got a 2-year, 2-year, $44 million contract, 39 of which is guaranteed, by the way.
JT, man. I mean, he was the number 1 overall pick in fantasy drafts just like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, Jahmyr Gibbs reset the running.
Oh.
He got a 3-year, $75.75 million extension with the Detroit Lions.
Wait, he was Sonic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would not be surprised if next week I come back saying somebody else reset the running back market.
Is Knuckles gonna reset the running back market?
Thomas Castellanos, I'm sure you remember him.
Oh, I remember Tommy Katz.
He's suing the NCAA for a 5th year.
Oh my gosh.
He
Please don't give us a 5th year of Tommy Katz.
Yeah, we just talked about FSU as well.
Yeah, former Boston College, UCF, and FSU guy. I was so high on him for a while, and he just never panned out. He was just Cade Klubnik on a worse scale.
You said Peter Skronsky went to Boston College, right?
We were talking about how their offensive line coach developed at Boston College, Peter Skronsky.
Yeah.
I think he went to Northwestern.
Well, anyway, he signed a 4-year, $100 million contract extension with Tennessee, $88 million guaranteed.
Tight.
So, big money for a big guy.
Yes, big guy. Big guy.
On the topic of big guys, Lane Johnson, huge part of the Eagles team in general,
Yes.
went out and said that it is likely his final season in the NFL.
That is fair. He is getting up there in age.
He's one of the few Eagles guys that I really care about, honestly. And, I can like this guy, and he won't go out and do something stupid.
Yeah.
On the topic of more big guys, Laramie Tunsil tore his tricep, so he's going to miss most of the season.
Oh, well, that sucks for him.
This is no longer about NFL. Sorry, go ahead.
Is he more known for his NFL play or the beer bong? Or no, not beer bong, just the bong.
Well, he's one of the top offensive linemen, so I think he's more known for that.
Okay. Well, that's what I always think about him for.
I think he's more known for the bong thing when you talk about draft slides.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like him and Aaron Rodgers are up there, which is a very funny group of people.
Yeah, very funny group of people.
George Russell got engaged with, I forgot what his now fiance's name is, but he is now an engaged man, so over the F1 break, I can finally talk about Formula 1 again. That made me really happy. He is engaged with Carmen Munt.
Johnny C. Munt?
It is not Johnny C. Munt.
Okay.
So congratulations to George Russell and Carmen Munt.
Congratulations.
Hunter Henry did not reset the tight end market, don't worry.
I can't imagine he did.
But he got a 2-year, $16 million extension, which could be up to $20 million, by the way.
All right.
With the Patriots, $14.5 million guaranteed.
He better buy a new Lambo. New Lambo for Hunter Henry incoming.
Heck yeah. Quinnen Williams did reset the market, though, for a position. He signed a 3-year, $105.9 million contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys, being the highest paid defensive lineman in NFL history. I have said that line about 1 million times over the last 3 weeks.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we stay in the NFL. Henny Two Gloves, the man of many teams, called it a career. This time for good, is what he said.
Okay. Is he going to go back to coaching?
I have no clue what his plans are. But the first thing I did is I went online and I'm trying to find a Teddy Bridgewater number 50 jersey.
You really should.
That would be amazing to add to my collection.
Yes.
Fun-ish news in the NFL. They added a new rule regarding challenge flags. Coaches will now be able to designate any one of their coaching staff that's on the sideline to throw a challenge flag, and this will be declared before the game to the referees.
Interesting.
So the coaches will no longer basically be in charge of taking care of that challenge flag. I'm sure they'll still have some input in it, but maybe the guys upstairs will just be talking to whichever staff member is appointed on the side. I just find that really interesting, honestly.
Yeah, it's a very interesting wrinkle.
Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray was named the starter for the Minnesota Vikings week 1. So He will be leading the charge for Skull. Meanwhile, J.J. McCarthy sits on the bench.
Again.
That's going to be very interesting to say the least, but good luck to them. I was going to my screenshots to say something and I completely forgot what it was going to be about. So this is just great.
Are we still on the NFL?
Maybe? Oh, we still are on the NFL. I didn't put this on the note card, but I did really want to talk about this. The NFL preseason started, and oh my goodness, we got a Hall of Fame game for the ages.
Yes, we did. Carson Beck versus Haynes King in the NFL.
It was insane. And I'm so sad that I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of it either. I was not able to, unfortunately. I had other business to attend to. But
Haynes King with a game-winning touchdown. He's now going to be on the 53-man roster now, apparently, too.
That is a great decision. Haynes King, I used to be very critical of, probably because Georgia Tech beat UCF in a bowl game. And I was pretty upset. But last year I really came around to the Yellow Jackets, so...
Yeah, now he's apparently going to be used in a Taysom Hill-type role as well.
Oh, that's awesome. He is built for that, too, because he is a physical quarterback.
Dude, yeah, you can tell. This is... Yeah, we're not done with NFL-ish, but we'll get to that soon. Cadillac appointed a new team principal, so more F1 news. Let's go. His name is Marcin Budkowski. He is a former Alpine executive director. So he will be leading the charge for this first-year F1 team. Honestly, don't expect new results. It's still Cadillac at the end of the day. But it's good to see that at least they can appoint people. Anyway, Nick Bosa is week to week now, apparently.
Goodness.
With tendonitis in his surgically repaired knee. So he is officially week to week.
Gosh.
As if the 49ers really needed this.
Nom 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 nom.
NBA, Adam Silver, not NBA, but Adam Silver released the schedule for the NBA, and oh my goodness, opening night is insane. Opening day. We start at 3 p.m. with the Boston Celtics versus the Detroit Pistons. We get LeBron James' debut on the 76ers at 7 p.m. against the defending champion New York Knicks.
It's crazy.
And then we get a rematch of the Western Conference Finals at 9:30 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs.
They just had to include... I mean, as soon as, I would have been surprised if he didn't include Spurs Thunder. That's, going to become a big rivalry.
Dude, I will be sat down on that day.
There's probably football that day.
Nothing. Well, it's a Tuesday, so...
Oh my gosh, wait. What day? That's late October?
October 20th. October 20th
that might be weekday CUSA. That might be the last week we get weekday CUSA because November's from action. November's for midweek action. Oh no. Oh, I got to pick. Okay.
And Christmas Day. You ready to hear the schedule for Christmas,
all right.
By the way? This includes NFL and NBA, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Oh, yeah.
We start with we start with Spurs-Knicks at noon.
Right, because I always start ridiculously early for the NBA.
Then we have Packers-Bears at 1 p.m.
Yeah, pick a game.
We have Heat-Celtics at 2:30. Then we get Bills-Broncos at 4:30. We get LeBron against the Lakers at 5. We get the Thunder versus the Wolves at 8. We get Rams-Seahawks at 8:15.
Woo!
Then we get Nuggets-Warriors at 10:30.
Yeah, Grandpa's not getting his ass off of the couch.
Oh my goodness, Christmas came early.
Well,
I am so... Well,
it'll actually come on time.
Well, yeah, it'll come on time, but oh my goodness. Opening presents in the morning to watching sports all day. I could not ask for a better Christmas.
A bunch of 9-year-olds are about to have a canon event on Christmas.
Oh yeah, dude, this will be talked about in 10 years as one of the best sports days of all time. You just wait.
Well, it'll be kind of, it'll be kind of hampered when the Seahawks kind of put belt to ass and 49-0 the Rams, but
Okay, well the Rams are probably the better team.
Anyway, what?
Derek Carr is back in the headlines, and he's not coming back to the NFL though. Don't worry.
What about David?
He is now the special advisor to the head coach at UCLA.
All right, Derek.
So he has a
He'll be
role
working
on
with
a
Nico.
college football team. Yep.
I like that.
Oh, that's not all for the note card because I had to take the 2 screenshots while we were on the air.
Right.
Russell Westbrook had called it a career after 18 illustrious seasons, I will say, in the NBA. Let me pull up his... Oh, yeah, let's clap, actually.
Great season from... Not great season. Great career.
Great career.
For Russell Westbrook. One of the
triple-double man himself.
Yeah. They just don't make him like Russell Westbrook anymore.
Absolutely not.
We will miss you, Russ.
He was a 9-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 3-time assist champ, 9 times All-NBA. He was Rookie of the Year. He was All-Rookie in 08-09. He was an All-Star MVP twice. He won the MVP in 2016-2017 after averaging a triple-double during the season. He was on the NBA's 75th anniversary team, and he holds the record for triple-doubles. The list can go on and on and on. This guy... He's probably one of the better players to not win a championship in the NBA.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's going to be talked about with the likes of John Stockton, we won't look, but I mentioned Karl Malone.
And then the last bit of news before we get to the MLB, which is actually heating up again, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So the MLB isn't just kind of like the back marker. Darren Waller, he signed I didn't see the numbers yet, but I'm sure I'll get to that. Let me actually start working on it. He signed a deal with the Panthers, so Darren Waller is back in action. He signed, it was a 1-year deal. It's a 1-year deal okay. Never mind. I guess Adam Schefter didn't really put a number to it. So, Darren Waller.
Do you think it might be a minimum? I mean, Darren Waller is kind of past his prime, like way past his prime.
It's definitely a minimum, but
okay.
A minimum for him is like life-changing for us. So.
Right.
We get to the MLB. Obviously, halfway through August at this point, basically. Not a whole lot of baseball left. 120 games through the season for most teams. Only got 42 games left to really, if you're on the bubble, to make a push for the playoffs. However, these teams are not on the bubble. The Milwaukee Brewers still lead the MLB at 74 and 46. However, we're tied with the Rays at 74 and 46.
This is great for baseball that the 2 top teams are like not New York or Los Angeles or Chicago based, but
yeah.
Then you look a little bit more down and you see a
We'll get to that, yeah. Well, you think about it, the AL was awful. It was atrocious.
Yes.
Earlier this year.
That is true.
Now the Brewers lost earlier, and that was before after I wrote this. The Rays, in all seriousness, could be the best team in the MLB come tomorrow. Which is insane to think about.
Yeah, I mean, we could get Rays Dodgers in the World Series once again. Mm-hmm. Rematch.
We go to the 3rd best team in the MLB. It is the Atlanta Braves at 72 and 48. So they're knocking on the doorstep for the NL. Then we have the Dodgers at 72 and 48 as well. So they're also knocking on the door of the NL, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then the Cubs sneak in again at 70 and 50. And then the Yankees are at 67 and 52. We can get to the teams on the bubble, though, with 42 games left, give or take a couple. Because as much as we don't really have as much time as we usually would, the MLB season is closing in.
Yep.
The Texas Rangers are kind of out there. They're 60 and 60. The Padres are 65 and 57. They're the team that beat Milwaukee. The Diamondbacks are also kind of outside of the top 6. Keep in mind, all the teams I'm naming right now are still in the playoffs, so it's not like I'm naming non-playoff teams, but... Mm-hmm. In case you're wondering, though, the Twins are 2 games back, they're 1 game back on the Rangers for that 6th seed, and the Phillies and Diamondbacks are tied right now for the 6th seed. For worst teams in the MLB, because I would love to do this, 3-3. It is not the Rockies, it's the Angels.
Tortured franchise, dude. I feel so bad for Angels fans.
It's okay, the Orioles are right there-ish.
Oh, okay, well, yeah. I knew that.
In the AL.
I knew that.
And funny enough, they're somehow only 2.5 games back.
I know, it's pretty impressive. But,
it is hilarious.
Do I think we're going to do it? Absolutely. I mean, why not? It's a great team.
Go for it.
Are we going to win a game in the playoffs? Probably not.
Probably not.
But you didn't hear me say that. It would be so funny if this team won a playoff game and the number one seed in the AL team didn't.
Not that absolute behemoth of a team.
Yeah. And then this one that's just being held together by a prayer and popsicle sticks.
Dude, it is literally Bon Jovi's living on a prayer.
Yeah. I'm still
Well,
pissed
yeah,
about the Avalanche trade.
that concludes all of that, though.
Well, we just reached 150 minutes. Sorry for keeping y'all long. I don't know why today's episode took so infinitely longer than
I have no idea.
Texas or Big 12.
Yeah, because the Big 12 is just one less team.
I guess we were kind of jazzed today. We were kind of going back and forth today.
Well, yeah, last time we had just woken up. This time we had the energy.
That's true.
So,
okay,
could have had something to do with that. Anyways,
time to close it out. The winners of the ACC will be the Syracuse Orange. Stanford's season is riding on the door hinge. I can make orange rhyme with banana.